Hello and welcome to Mount Vernon, Missouri, where we are back here on a Friday night. And tonight we got some help. Skylan Aikens here with you, and joining me is Coach Ryan White from the Miller Lady Cardinals basketball squad. First off, thanks for joining me on this week's broadcast.
Oh, thanks for having me, Skyland. This is a dream. You know, this is the profession I would have chosen if coaching wouldn't have panned out. I always wanted to be a broadcaster.
Yeah, so first we're jumping right into it here. Mount Vernon and McDonald County, a battle for Big 8 supremacy here. Two teams that have had a solid start to the season. Mount Vernon comes in 1-1, still the number 7 ranked team in the state in Class 3, despite falling to Seneca 35-14 last week. But don't count out these McDonald County Mustangs. They have they've played a tough schedule. They've fallen to Cassville to start off, but they also played Lamar in one of the closest games Lamar's played so far this year. So it's gonna be a tight one. We're gonna go start off by seeing what happened in the Big 8 last week. We'll start off in Seneca, where the number 2 ranked Indians defeated the Mount Vernon Mount'neers 35-14 in kind of a game that was being circled on schedules all over the place. In Aurora, the Nevada Tigers took care of the Hound Dogs 21-7. Cassville defeated McDonald County 20-7. However, we got word that there was a crucial injury that may have some part in that, and we'll discuss that here momentarily. Lamar had another tight one after nearly falling to McDonald County against East Newton 34-24, and the poor Monette Cubs, they got steamrolled there by the Stratford Indians of the Mid Lakes Conference 69-14, and so the Ben Mock era not quite starting off the way that they were hoping there in Monette. But we'll take a look at the standings. Seneca, Lamar, and Nevada sit atop, all state ranked teams, all in the top 7, sitting at 2-0 in conference. Mount Vernon and Cassville sit at 1-1 in the conference. East Newton and Monette each a game and a half behind at 0-1 in the conference, and Aurora and McDonald County both searching for their first conference win of the 2024 campaign. Taking a look at our game of the week results from last week, starting in Miller, Missouri, where we had our broadcast last week. 48-20 over Stockton defeated Miller Cardinals. Stockton ended up running for 400 yards on the ground and was able to ease off a hot start by the Cardinals. 48-20. In Joplin and COC play, 21-17, the Joplin Eagles defeated the Lebanon Yellow Jackets, who are sitting at 0-2 in their new conference so far. Mount Vernon, we already talked about Mount Vernon falling to Seneca. The Nixa Eagles defeated the Webb City Cardinals 55-21 in Nixa. Marshfield defeated Reed Springs in a battle of former Big 8 foes 27-20. In El Dorado Springs, Southwest Conference number 10 team in the state, Ash Grove defeated Eldo 14-6. In Forsyth, the Marionville Comets had a barn burner with the Forsyth Panthers. They ended up winning that one by 6, 28-22. Sircoxy defeated Hollister 22-18. And we talked about Aurora falling to Nevada 21-7. So, Coach, we'll bring you in for just a minute before we go to our coach's interview. We kind of hit on the big news, following the McDonald County Mustangs and their star running back, Sosa. I lost his first name. But anyway, their leading running back, coming into Melosi Sosa, was supposed to be, kind of their workhorse on the ground. Got hurt there after a tremendous first half there against Lamar. But I mean, what are they going to have to do to overcome the loss here? He won't be playing it here tonight.
Oh, I mean, anytime you lose a star player, and we were talking to their coaches before the game, and some people around the town that know the loss that kid has to their program right now. It's going to be a big shot for them, but I think they, looking at their stats from last game, they put in Adrian Short right behind him, and he had 42 carries and had the same amount of yards. So the explosiveness wasn't the same. But their system still is. So you just gotta hope you've coached them up and you'll be able to plug those guys back into the system.
Yeah, McDonald County, one of those squads that they're going to live or die on their run game, and they got the size to do it up front. They got the running backs to really make life hard for those linebackers and that defensive line. So it's going to be interesting to see how they overcome that. Anthony D'Amico, quarterback, has been called on quite a bit through the first couple of games. 44 pass attempts, that included two passes going for 6. But also looking on the ground, 20 rushes, 112 rushing yards on the ground. So you would expect them to get him going on the ground as well.
No, yeah, I'm sure they have some some other athletes, that kid's a big spot for them. But like I said, they seem to not, if you battle Lamar, I don't care what year it is, if it's 1992 or 2092, they're probably gonna have a pretty good team. And people act like Lamar's kind of banged up, but they have the system, so no matter who they lose, they're going to plug in and be successful. So it looks like McDonald County is looking to do the same.
Yeah, look, going to the other side, Mount Vernon, they bring back a very senior Latin offense, starting with the backfield, Braden Dotson and Gavin Johnston. Having brain farts here already. Leading the way, both 3-year starters, both looking to, kind of had a salty taste in their mouth after a, fall into Seneca a year ago. And, both kind of off, not quite to the starts offensively that they were hoping for, but, this Mount Vernon defense has kind of stepped up in its place and has been solid. But we already talked about McDonald County, but what are you wanting to see out of that Mountaineer offense?
It's the same as McDonald County. They got a kid banged up, and it's arguably one of their best players. Dodson's chasing that school record, and Coach Cox has got a system, and he's coached them, and his staff is coached them well. And I think I just want to see that no matter who's out there, our best player might not be out there, but let's plug in and let's keep true to the system and whatever their culture is, and I think it's going to be good for them.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to step aside. We're going to go straight to the horse's mouth directly. We're going to go talk to Coach Cox and see what he has to say. Hello, everybody. Skyline Akins with Southwest Missouri Sports. Here, we're talking with the coach of the Mount Vernon Mountaineers, Tom Cox. First off, thank you for taking just a few minutes to come and chit-chat with us.
Absolutely.
So, let's just kind of start with kind of how we got here. You guys are 1-1 so far, playing a couple tough games, coming off of a tough one against one of the best teams in the state. Just kind of talk about what you've seen from your team through 2 weeks.
Sure. First week against Aurora, they played really well. I knew that they were going to be good. We knew they were. We had seen them at the Branson team camp, and they were very physical, did a great job, kept the ball away from us, and we just didn't get much of a rhythm going. But at the end of the ball game, we got it going. We had the ball with about 4 minutes, I think, in 18 seconds or something, and we just, in our 4-minute offense, we grounded out, and we closed out the game with the victory formation. So I was really proud of the grit that we showed there at the end to come away with a 7-6 win over those guys. And then last week against Seneca, excellent football team, very physical, again, very strong, very fast. And they just, again, kept the ball away from us. They did score on a few big plays. We had some big plays. Right off the bat, we drove it all the way down the field, got inside the 10, and very uncharacteristic of Braden Dotson, he lost a fumble. They recovered. I think the guy ran it back like 83 yards before we could tackle him. They punched it in, and it was just a big flip of the momentum in that ball game. And they they ran hard, and they did a good job on defense. We were not able to run the ball consistently like we like to, so we went to the air. We scored a couple of touchdowns. We had a touchdown call back. We had 4 ineligible receivers downfield. We had same lineman was downfield. He got called 4 times, and so we've worked on that this week to make sure we're on our RPO game, that we're not getting downfield. We've still got to control the line of scrimmage. Those poor guys don't know whether we're handing it off or whether we're throwing it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of understandable, but we haven't had that called on us much at all in the last few years. So, but we look forward to playing McDonald County. We look forward to being back at home. We've had to play at Seneca. The last time they came here was in 2020.
Oh, wow.
So the schedule has been kind of cruel to us on that, but we're glad to be back home, glad to play back on the Big 8 west side from the last 6 years, I guess. And so we're glad to be in it, but it's a different kind of style than what we saw on the east. It's real physical football, downhill running, and so it's going to be a tough battle for us, but we're getting better and better up front, especially. So it's good to know that our guys are working hard. We had a good practice today and yesterday, so we look forward to Friday night.
We talked about it just a little bit, after it was announced, but with some of the, half the Big 8 going elsewhere, and it seems like all the teams that are, football dominant are still here. Just through 2 weeks, I know it's still early, but just kind of what's the grind been like, knowing that you got Seneca, but you still got several other squads coming in.
It's just a weird deal because you look at that schedule and it's kind of cliche, but you can't take a week off. I mean, Monette's 0-2, but they are going to have it rolling by the time we see them in week 9. So I mean, there's just not a team in the Big 8 that you can count on a victory, which was not the case on that east side last year. So we have a lot of work to do. Our guys know that. But it's a weird dynamic with this year because we have always been in the district with the rest of the Big 8 guys. And yet this year, we're completely going the other way. We're all in the east going with St. James, Cuba, we've got Salem, we have Mountain Grove, we got Stratford, and we got Buffalo. And what's crazy is, in all the years of Mount Vernon history, which dates back to about 1900, we have never played one of those schools in a varsity contest. We played a couple of them in JV, but we have never played any of them. So it's going to be different. It'll be fun. It adds a little bit of a wrinkle to things, a little bit of excitement. But the key for us is we need to win some games in the Big 8, so we'll have a good seeding in the other district. So it's like. We got to take care of business, and that's what we hope to start doing tomorrow night.
Yeah, so Friday night you got McDonald County. Just kind of talk about what you've seen from them on tape up to this point.
Once again, we've been talking about it. They're very physical. They're one of the biggest teams in the Big 8. They've always had good size. They do a great job over there in the weight room with their guys, and they've got them muscular. They've got them big, and they like to hit you. So we've got to be ready for that kind of physicality right from the beginning. Can't take time to get used to that. They do a good job. They run some RPO stuff. They run some zone read stuff, but they run a lot of isolation stuff where they'll try to isolate a big back on a linebacker and then have the tailback cut off of that. So it's and they can throw it. They've shown in the first 2 games that they can throw it. They had Lamar on the ropes, ended up losing by 3, and then they lost last week in another close game against Cassville. They kind of got down, they came rolling back, and then they just kind of lost momentum, kind of like we did against Seneca. And I think the score was 22-7 or 20-7. I can't remember exactly, but close game and very winnable for McDonald County. So they're going to be hungry. Our guys are hungry. We're 1-1. They're 0-2, but they are a good 0-2 football team.
So we talked about it just a little bit. They're big. They're going to want to run the ball. What are you guys going to have to do to kind of play the game your way?
Sure. Number one, we're going to have to tackle better than we did last week. That was one of the biggest things that we lacked in last week was finishing tackles. We made good contact, but we didn't wrap up. We didn't when we had the opportunity from the side to use a roll tackle or just the profile tackle of, going straight in to them. And we just, I think, are going to have to tackle better. We got to get more people to the football and get off of blocks. We need to work on that, just shocking and shedding and getting off of those, taking those blocks on and making the play one side or the other.
Yeah, coming into the season, a lot was being made of, your experienced backfield and your offensive line. Just kind of talk about, through 2 weeks, how you feel like, Braden and Gavin and the offensive line have been playing.
Well, we haven't played as well as we hoped to play. We've been playing better. Gavin had almost 200 yards passing against Seneca the other night, and Braden, we were needing him so much on defense. We didn't run him much in the second half because we weren't having much success in the first half. So I think we only ran it 6 times in the second half, but we ended up only we ran, I think, maybe 7 or 8 plays in the third quarter, and I think we maybe had 12 in the fourth quarter. So it's hard to, unless you're making big plays and hitting some explosive stuff, it's hard to hang on there if you're not getting it. We only punted 3 times in the game, but we went for it on fourth one time down inside the 10. We couldn't convert, and so I think those are things that we want to do. Our style of play is we're much better when people don't know whether we're running it or throwing it. But we have to be able to do both of those, especially early in the game, to get that kind of respect for it. So that's something we'll try to do, is establish a little more presence in the run game. We've worked hard on that this week, and we will try to come out, swinging just like those guys.
Yeah, and we'll see if the balanced offense is going to work for the Mount'neers here this week. We're about 10-15 minutes away from kickoff. Stay tuned, and we'll have more right here from Mount Vernon.
But I want to say thank There we go. Now you can hear me. I appreciate
Do it. Thank you, Dwayne White, for the shout out. We lost our sound and we didn't know until we had Big Father looking at us.
We haven't said anything too valuable yet.
Yeah.
Well, just thanking you guys for tuning in here for some Friday night football here in Mount Vernon, as the Mount'neers are getting ready to take the field as they prepare for the Mustangs of McDonald County. I want to say thank you to our sponsors, the Clever Barn. Be sure to check out the Clever Barn for your upcoming events of any kind. If you like old barns and rustic themes, the Clever Barn was built in the 1880s. And just wait until you see what Randy and Laura Walden have done out there. Located just a few miles south of Clever on Jasmine Road, they were recently voted the #3 wedding venue from Southwest Missouri Magazine. And they cannot wait to host your event. Give them a call at 417-350-2343. Hey, Coach, I'm telling you, I went out there did an interview that we'll see at halftime. I mean, they got just about anything you can ask for in a wedding venue. Anything from a putting green, they got a little chipping green, they got waterfalls. I mean, it is just an awesome deal out there. And Definitely a go-to place to have a wedding. And also want to say thank you to the Burger Shack. The Burger Shack is a proud sponsor of Miller Cardinal football. But tonight we are also sponsors of Mount Vernon. They're proud sponsor of the Miller Cardinals, and it's a taste of game day. Tyler Snyder and his crew is guaranteed to bring you the best burgers in Miller. They're located right by the high school in the shade of the football stands. Be sure to stop by next week for your pregame treat. So, as we get ready for kickoff, as you can see them coming out, being led by the Mountaineer flag. We are about 7 minutes away from kickoff. We just want to go ahead and introduce our starters for each squad. Let's start with the offense of McDonald County. Starting at quarterback is going to be Anthony D'Amico, and joining him in the backfield is Adrian Short and Jared McCool. As we mentioned a little bit earlier, their typical starting running back, Sosif, is not playing here tonight as he suffered an ankle injury there in week 1 and is still looking to recover. The receivers, Dominic Navin, Breck Rubeck, and J.P. Clarkson. And I just realized I forgot to change the positions on there. But this is their offense. Receivers, Dominic Navin, Breck Rubeck, and J.P. Clarkson. And they're starting on their offensive line, Max Spurgeon, 6'3", 275. Miguel Melendez, 5'10", 230. Max Elam, 5'10", 230. And Norca Sampson, 5'9", 250. And Cole Thomas, 6'1", 215. They got some big boys up front.
Oh, and that's what I was saying before the game, Skyland, is, I coach Class 1 football, and just, this is only Class 3, but, man, the size, it's noticeable. These are some big boys out there.
Absolutely. And going to the defense of Mount Vernon, to be led on the defensive line. They're going to run the 3-4 primarily. They're going to be run by senior Peyton Jones, Jacoby Wilson, and Bryce Rinker, a trio of seniors on the offensive line. And the linebacking core, Hunter Dawson, Lane Conrad, Hunter Conway, and Braden Dodson, going to be doing the work there on the linebackers. And in the secondary, Hudson Gaddy, Jarrett Zerby, Coy Felton, and Grayson Gann. Jarrett Zerby will be a name familiar to most basketball fans, as he is the All-State basketball selection from a year ago. When Mount Vernon has the ball, Gavin Johnston is going to be leading the way with him and Braden Dodson. The senior duo has been 3-year starters. It has been tremendous for the Mountaineers over the last 3 seasons, and Braden Dodson's getting close to approaching some history here.
No, yeah, and they talked about him being a little banged up last game. Hopefully he can stay healthy, and that's why I'm here. I want to see great football, and I want to see the best players out there. So I love to see it.
Hunter Conway is going to be getting some carries in the backfield as well. Catching the ball is going to be Jarrett Zerby, Coy Felton, and Grayson Gann. And then along the offensive line, Danny Fields, Jacoby Wilson, Brayden Jameson, Bryce Rinker, and Riley Martin. On McDonald County's defense, on the defensive line, 33, J.P. Clarkson, Max Spurgeon, Miguel Melendez, and Jarrett McCool is going to be leading the way on the defensive line. At the linebacking core, Chase Thomas, Isaac Wagner, and Maddox Fegan. In the in the secondary, Breck Rubeck, Ryder Martin, Wyatt Gordon, and Adrian Short. So a lot of two-way guys, kind of more than you might expect. They're out of a Class 3 school.
No, absolutely, and that's cool for me to see as a Class 1 coach. We all the time try to get kids breaks, and but we don't have the numbers to do that all the time. And it's really cool to see these bigger schools. They're playing their best guys on both sides of the football. And they do have probably some more depth, but they're trying to win these games, and you want your best kids out there. That's pretty cool to see.
Going to our passing leaders. It's going to be Gavin Johnston, quarterback for the Mount Vernon Mountaineers, 22 for 41 for the year, 306 yards, had 62 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns, 2 turnovers. One of the interceptions was a costly one last week in Seneca, and kind of led to Seneca taking over in that game late. Anthony D'Amico, 45% on the year, 245, but he gets a job done on the ground, 112 rush yards, 2 touchdowns through the air, and 2 turnovers.
These are pretty similar numbers, Skyland. The one that gets me is at 112 rushing yards by D'Amico. That kid's got to be an athlete, and we're going to see if that's going to be a factor today.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I'm sure you can talk more about this, but I mean, when you have a quarterback that is a legit threat on the ground, getting that extra blocker in there, I mean, that's wins games for you.
Oh, absolutely, and depending on what set you're in, man, it defines the coverage too. And if you can't have D-backs helping out on runs, and they got to worry about the run and the pass, it's going to be a difficult night.
Moving to, yeah, we're getting blown out by the speakers right above us. It is loud. Running the ball is going to be Braden Dotson. Been a little banged up, only 7 carries for the Mount'neers so far, 22 yards on the ground, averaging just over 3 yards a carry, 1 touchdown, 1 fumble. And this is old information on the McDonald County side. Melosi Sosa is not going to be playing. Found that out as we got to the ball field. It's going to be Adrian Short, who has 42 rushes for 97 yards on the ground. So not quite as efficient as Sosa has been, but has been just as effective. Catching the ball, Jarrett Zervies leads the way for Mount Vernon. 5 receptions, 141 receiving yards, 1 touchdown, averaging 70 yards per game. He could be matched up with Breck Rubik probably on both sides of the ball all night long. 3 receptions, 61 yards, 1 touchdown, averaging 30 a game. We are getting close here to kickoff, just over a minute remaining. And so, Coach, I'm going to kick it over to you. Because, final keys to the game here in this one.
I think it's just you gotta believe in your guys and believe that you coached them in your system. You got some key injuries. Just gotta hope that we've coached them to do the right thing and stay true to that. So.
All right. Well, we are getting ready to get going. We'll step aside for one break right as the teams get ready for their kickoff. You're watching Friday Night Football here with Southwest Missouri Sports. Welcome back to Mount Vernon. As it appears that McDonald County has won the toss, they're going to defer to the second half, and we're about to kick off here. It looks like Dominic Navin and I can't see, maybe Breck Rubeck back deep for the McDonald County Mustangs. Not quite sure who's 57. Landon Papa kicking off for the Mount'neers. And we are off. And it's going to be Rubeck with the return. He's going to look for a hole and not going to find it, but he's going to pop to the outside and be brought down. That is number 3 for the Mount'neers, Julian Hernandez. Hernandez, another guy that has been battling injuries. Wasn't sure if he was going to get a chance to play, but it looks like he's out there already making plays.
McDonald County's got to come off to a good start here, Skyland. This is where you set up your plays. You've watched film. You see how safeties roll. You see how corners play. You see how, linebackers flow. And this is where you start setting up for plays later in the game. So let's see what we got here.
First play from scrimmage here. The split backfield, D'Amico along with Short and McCool. And this one's going to go to Short, it looks like, and be brought down for a minimal gain. It's like maybe a gain of 1 or 2.
You know, and with that first play there, you know, they had some injuries at running back. You know, and that's their best player, and so they gave the backup the first play of the game. So that shows confidence in him.
Be second and long here. And this one's going to be a pass. D'Amico's going to look deep. It's going to be under pressure and right through the hands of Rubeck. And I'm telling you, there was a lot of pressure there from number 34 from Mount Vernon. That was Hunter Conway. Got the pressure on D'Amico, and that's going to bring up a third and long to start the game.
You know, it kind of looked like an RPO there. You know, they're pretty run heavy, but it looked like he kind of pulled it and threw it, and that's when you run an RPO, you got to make that decision quick.
It's rocking here in Mount Vernon. Good game day atmosphere. D'Amico is going to look long, can't find anybody, and is going to find, looks like number 6, Dominic Navin, short of the line to gain.
So that's what I'm talking about there. You know, you've seen a jet motion already early in the game. That's solely so the guys over here to our right can see how are the safeties moving. You know, so they've taken note. You know, how did the safeties react to that, and they're going to have a play later in the game to attack whatever Mount Vernon's giving them.
And that's going to bring out the punt team. And it looks like Dodson back deep for the Mount'neers. Good punt. And the return is going to be stopped short just across the 35-yard line. Looks like to the 36. Actually, that was Jarrett Zerby on the return.
So here's Coach Cox, you know, his first series. Let's see what he wants to see, and let's see how he wants to establish his offense. You know, we like that running back. I bet 33 gets the football pretty early here.
Yeah, you know, that's what you would hope to see out of Coach Cox's team. He definitely likes to rely on being balanced. And, you know, this offense was best offense in the Coach Cox era here at Mount Vernon. So, and sure enough, Dodson gets the first carry. Good, strong run up across the 40-yard line for a gain of about 5.
Yeah, you know, 33, like they said, he was a little injured, but I think they're going to show him early just to prove that, you know, that he's healthy and he's ready to go. You know, going under center, first play. I know Mount Vernon likes to get his shotgun, spread it out, but it looks like we're going to power it here early.
Yeah, you know, and that's what Coach Cox was saying in that pregame interview. The key to this one is being able to stay balanced. Because, you know, once you start becoming one-dimensional, I know it's the same way on the basketball court. Once you become one-dimensional, it makes things difficult.
And there's that RPO to number 3 up the sideline.
And Julian Hernandez with a nice protection run there, gain about 7.
You know, and it makes it dangerous when you got a kid like 33 in the backfield. The RPOs, those are difficult to guard because, you know, everybody's flowing to that run. Quarterback just pulls it, throws it out to the receiver.
Yeah, good play there. Good, you know, good mix there to start the. Oh, I guess I have not run the camera. I'm already failing. That's why I usually bring a cameraman with me. But I didn't see who carried that one. But it'd be a short gain.
It's 33.
Dodson once again on the carry. Short gain there, about 1.
You know, so we've already seen quarterback under center. Then they got into shotgun, RPO. Now they're back under center. So I think we're going to see a mix of power and spread throughout this game for Mount Vernon.
And that's what you really want to see. You know, this offensive line, you know, we talked about it. It got some crazy size. You know, we ready to play some bully ball here.
Yep. There we go. There's another little play action there.
And Dodson's going to take off. He's got no one in front of him. That's going to be 6 points. A 4.
You know, that play there's kind of crazy, Skyland, because you're in shotgun. You fake it to 33. Who's your stud, and then you look off and then throw it right to him. So that great play call, great design there. You know, that's why we need another sponsorship, Skylar, and we need a third man in here. But it's not cheap. We need some more help.
Absolutely.
Got our second attempt at the PAT.
Pulpit's kick is up, and it is good. 7-0 your score here early on. And hopefully now you can hear me. I apologize.
Oh, Mount Vernon.
Sidekick,
Yeah.
The start gonna be recovered, and just a knee's gonna be taken here, and we're gonna see the McDonald County offense once again.
And that kind of shows you the tone that Mount Vernon wants to set. We scored. We had a quick stop the first trip. Now they want that football. Almost said basketball because I'm a basketball coach, but they want that football back. McDonald County's got to do a better job of getting something going here. Back to their two-back set.
Yeah, D'Amico in the shotgun, and this one's gonna go to Short. Short's gonna bounce up to the outside and be brought down for a gain of about 4 or 5. Another strong run there by the senior.
You know, and that's really cool to see. And we was talking about before the game about the system. You know, that's not their go-to guy per se, but they've given him the rock already 3 or 4 times here. Two-back set once again. Let's see if we see another run.
D'Amico takes the snap, and it's gonna be a quick toss to the outside to Rubeck. That's gonna be Rubeck's first reception of the game.
Both these offenses, man, they're running the football and then they're immediately play action or RPO. That's really cool to see. That shows you they have athletes on outside and the inside of this line of scrimmage. Two-back set once again.
We're approaching 8 minutes remaining here in this opening quarter of play.
It looks like we got a false start by McDonald County, and that's what it'd be.
I just can't get over, obviously, going to several of the Miller games, up to this point, just the size of the humanity up on the line. It's a whole different ball game from Class 1 to Class 3. There are some big boys.
We're going to have a restart here on 1st and long.
1st and 15, and we're looking at the backfield of Short, and Short felt the hit coming. And that was 24 on the pressure. That was Hudson Gaddy. And, he was coming downhill with a head of steam. Bring up a 3rd and 15, or 2nd and 15.
Yeah, 2nd and 15 here. You don't have a whole lot of plays for 15 yards, so I'm curious to see how aggressive McDonald County is going to be. Mount Vernon's got 2 high safeties in this look. Something we like to go to is, some out routes because, nothing over the top is going to probably work. Right here we got 1 high safety, so you could go vertical if you wanted. Mount Vernon looks like they're blitzing. They do.
D'Amico is going to look for a man. Going to be broken up there by number 10, Grayson Gann.
So that was just they just flooded the outside of the field there, trying to hit the flat and deep flat. Just didn't come up with it.
Yeah, it looked like D'Amico had him there, but early on, it looks like this the pressure, this Mount Vernon defense, it has the Mustangs thinking before catching the ball.
This is a crucial third down here. We're trips right. We don't want to start the game being back down too much.
D'Amico is looking, he's going to the outside, and he has a man.
Oh, looks like he got it.
Tackle. The second effort is going to give him the first down, gain of about 17 to Brubeck.
Like they, McDonald County there, they had their number 1 and number 3 receiver just run vertical, and that stretched the defense of Mount Vernon, and they were able to just throw it underneath and get that first. Good play call. Back to the two back set out of gun with a tight end. Mount Vernon with a 1 high safety. Give it off to number 26 for a good chunk of yards here.
A good strong run there by 26. That was Vince James, the sophomore fullback.
Number 75 from McDonald County just got himself a Waffle House sticker there. Got a flat back and, had some good sportsmanship, helped the opposing player up. Apologize for the time. I'm keeping track of the time here, and I'm a little bit behind. There's actually 6:49 on the clock.
Man, talking without with the mic being off, not keeping up with the camera.
2 back set. Number 26 with the ball again. Why not?
James once again. Yeah, he's a big boy carrying the ball. 5'10", 190.
First play gets you about 6. Why not go back to the well and get you 3? Now you're 3rd and 1, and it's 4 down territory here. So you really got 2 downs here. I would predict that we're gonna give 26 the football again here.
Yeah,
I bet we just flipped and we just went to the left. I bet we come back to the right now. And that's what we have, but we cut it back left for the first.
Nice strong run there by James. Be a gain of, call it 4.
If you're McDonald County here, you got Mount Vernon on their heels. We got a timeout. That's that water break timeout, and that's crucial, man. You just stopped a drive from McDonald County. They were driving here, but thank goodness to the heat advisory timeout.
Yeah, the heat advisory while we're sitting here, and we got some our light jackets, back behind us. But it's a hit the 6-minute timeout, water break, 7-0 your score. Mount Vernon has the lead. We'll step aside for just a second here as we wrap up this water break. We are back here in Mount Vernon, and McDonald County's driving here. They got 1st and 10 on the 28-yard line. And D'Amico in that 2 running back set. He's going to keep it this time. Go up for a gain of, looks like about 4.
And what was crazy about that, they've been in this gun with, 1 running back to the left, 1 to the right, the whole drive and first possession. It was the same look, Skyland, but the running backs were actually about a yard and a half up further, and the quarterback kept it the first time. So I'd like to see if that's a tendency of theirs that we can see that the defense, can't see.
Yeah, we were starting to make a point of this quarterback being an athlete. This one's going to go back to short, and short's going to be brought down short of the first down. Gave him about 3 there. But we talked about the athleticism of D'Amico running the ball. Through the first, almost first 2 full possessions, hadn't seen anything from him running the ball.
outside, just trying to get to the outside looking to pass.
Mount Vernon looks like they subbed their meat into the game. They got a lot of big boys up front. Third down. Mount Vernon brings the pressure. Quarterback does keep it. And you saw how slippery he is. He made the first two miss, but Mount Vernon rallied really well.
Yeah, that's Braden Dotson that hit him in the backfield, and that's a all-conference running back or linebacker that that you made miss there. I mean, that's a good move there by a quarterback.
Fourth down. This is huge here for Mount Vernon. They, deep in their own territory, they got to get a stop. McDonald County in their two-back set. Now they have all their tight ends and receivers in, so a little different look. Definitely run set. New quarterback at that. Number 12 has not been in the game. And looks like he's going to be short. Maybe. Yep, it is short going the other way.
Yeah, Ryder Martin in that quarterback. That's a good catch. And it's going to be met by a whole host of Mountaineers. And that's going to be a turnover on down, bring up the offense of the Mountaineers.
So that's curious. They have a really good running quarterback and they sub. So is it an equipment malfunction? Is it an injury? But you would like to think if you sub in that set that, you got some running backs because it was a different set. But kudos to them. Have confidence in 12. Just come in and get the ball. I would like to see 26 to get the ball again. He was chunking it for 4 or 5 there.
Yeah, absolutely. Vince James had done a really good job there that drive, pushing it. And not to see him get the touch there on 4th down was kind of odd.
Mount Vernon giving it to their workhorse, number 33. Mount Vernon went to came out in a spread set and then shifted into their power set. Maybe they've seen something on film that McDonald County, reacts a certain way to certain things. But curious to see how Tom's second, Coach Cox, my apologies, this next drive here.
Yeah, you've only seen Gavin Johnson, the all-conference quarterback, throw the ball twice. Now, granted, one of them went for 6, but they're definitely trying to pound the ball, right at the teeth of this McDonald County defense. And this one's going to be shot down. And this is 24 with the carry. That is Hunter Conway.
You got third and long here, 3rd and 8 or so. What's your third down play? We got to look at the safeties. That's why we do the motions. That's why we set up things. So Mount Vernon's seen something. What is their third down play here? We're in a spread set. Looks like McDonald County's manned up. You got a flag.
I didn't say it sounded like you heard a whistle, but didn't see no flags come out. And a false start was called.
That's crucial there. Now we're backed up. It's already 3rd and 8, and now you're pushed to 3rd and 11 in your opponent's territory. So you're backed up here. It looks like we're gonna, if that play was an indication, we're gonna roll out with our athlete and let our guys run some off, and then keep one guy underneath to try to get that first.
Yeah, and and especially that penalty is especially huge. At 3rd and 8, you got plays there in the playbook. To pick that up, pushing back, especially this far back in your own territory.
2-back set.
You gotta be careful.
Oh, a little RPO, but we drop it. That's a great play call. You had a peak RPO, so that's where you fake it off. The quarterback has the option to pull it or give it, and then you run a slant behind, and it looks like we had it, but Mount Vernon just dropped it.
Yeah, the pass intended there for Lane Conrad, number 9. Unable to hold on to it. That's going to bring out Hunter Dawson to punt the ball for the Mountaineers. And I
can't see the number. It's hard. Good snap. Good kick. Really high. Great punt. Got a fair catch by McDonald County.
That was a great punt.
Great punt. That thing went over the lights. Okay, McDonald County was driving there, running the football with number 26. Kind of got stalled at the end. Let's see if number 11's back in the game, and it looks like he is. Let's see if we see any different set. We've had the same formation from McDonald County until the last play, so we know they have some other stuff. Looks like they're in their two-back set again. Running backs seem to me up a little bit. I'd be curious to see if quarterback keeps it. No, number 5.
This one go to Aiden Short, drop down. Like behind the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of 1.
Both teams want to run the football. They've set the tone early. They want to run. They want to play action off of it, and really those RPOs. No one's really taken a shot deep yet.
No, 49-yard touchdown pass. Is your lone score of the game, but that was one that was you threw it behind the line of scrimmage and
flags everywhere.
False start. I turned my head looking out towards you, and I completely missed what was going on. I have a tendency to do that.
There's actually minute 21. I'm behind on the time here. I'm working. It's my first day, so apologies. Two-back set.
Hey, maybe week 3 of the season, but we're still learning here. D'Amico is going to look to throw it, and it's going to be short for Jarrett McCool. And the ball comes out, and going the other direction is number 13. And they're 33. Sure enough, imagine that. Braden Dodson recovers the fumble and is now deep in Mustang territory. And now the Mountaineers are on the precipice of scoring once again.
So that play call there, they actually ran a halfback screen there for the running back, because Mount Vernon's been blitzing pretty heavily there. So it wasn't that it was a bad call. Number 33, he hits the weight room. He just took it right out of that kid's hands, and he wants to make a statement that he's going to affect both sides of the football tonight. Maybe that injury gave him some rest.
Yeah, Dodson's looking tremendous up to this point. And now looking to capitalize it on the other end. And as Johnson is going to pull it, and this is going to be a touchdown. Jarrett Zerby takes it 11 yards, or 17 yards, and a great RPO there. And that results in the touchdown.
That play call was really cool, Skyland. Number 33 is the workhorse for Mount Vernon, and he, they run him on a jet motion, get all eyes to 33, then you pull it, and then you throw it to your athletes behind. That was a really cool play call.
Yeah, those RPOs are, that's kind of the hot stuff there in the, especially at the college level, is the extra point just sneaks over the bar, but that's going to be another touchdown. But as I was saying, the RPOs, kind of the hot thing in college football. Now you don't see a whole lot of high schools run it, to the, quite like you see Mount Vernon doing it so far today.
Well, and actually, Skyland, RPOs, they started in high school.
Oh.
Yeah, so,
Look at that.
they started in high school because it's invented for teams that, didn't block the run very well. But we have good athletes, so, we're going to run it. Now we're actually going to pull it and throw it. So it actually did start in high school.
Look at that. Learn something new every day. Thanks for calling me out.
You might have to go fact check it, but it sounds good.
14-0 your score here. 49 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. And, it's been an offensive clinic by the Mount Vernon Mountaineers up to this point. Between getting Dotson, your playmaker involved early, to getting Gavin Johnston, comfortable throwing. It's been it's been a good opening quarter for the Mountaineers.
And we have another kickoff from Mount Vernon. Not quite as deep as the first one. Got a return from McDonald County up to the 35. This drive here is we can't panic if we're McDonald County. It's early in the football game, so don't get in the chuck and duck and just heave it. You got to make a good drive here. You have things that have worked. Go back to the well and chew some clock. You cannot give Mount Vernon the football back because they're driving right now.
Yeah, and obviously with that previous drive ending with a fumble. You're giving it to your guy, Adrian Short's been the guy since Sousa has went down with injury. So you continue to keep feeding them, and they go right back to Short, who makes a couple guys miss, brought down there for a gain of 5.
If you're McDonald County here, don't get in a hurry. Take the quarter here. Because you had a really good run on first down, 2nd and 4. Just take the quarter, recalibrate, focus, get your guys back going in the right direction. No reason to run a play. And it looks like they're going to line up to run a play. Let's see if we do. 2-back set. DB's got to watch the tight end. Don't let him slip out. He's sneaky sometimes. We do run a play.
And go back to Short. Short's going to dive forward.
Depending on the spot, we may have a first down.
He dives out, gets to the 46-yard line, between the 45 and 46, and that one is going to end the quarter. And I think they're going to mark it just short for a gain of 4, but that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. Mount Vernon has found the end zone twice, thanks to a couple of passes from Gavin Johnston, starting with a little flick out to Braden Dotson, 49-yarder that gave them a 7-0 lead, and then a 17-yard RPO to Jarrett Zerby, the All-State basketball player. But a fantastic show of offense there in the first quarter from the Mount'neers.
No, it's cool to see. Both teams had a plan coming out on offense, and both are, they're executing well. McDonald County just having that one turnover and just getting stopped just short on the first, possession or second possession. So both offenses looking good. Mount Vernon's just making some big plays. Again, McDonald County, don't panic. A lot of football left to play. Got a 3rd and 1. We still see our same formation with 2 backs. Sounds like thunder, but it's really just the Mount Vernon stands here about to come down on top of our heads, Skyland.
Yeah, fantastic atmosphere here. It's been loud. Music's been loud. Fans have been loud. I can hear the student section down there. Some familiar faces, I'm sure with you. As it looks like 46 is going to make a move to the outside. And it's tremendous. Or that was 26, rather. Vince James.
That was number 26, and he was the guy that had him rolling in that first quarter, and they kind of went away from him. So I'm glad to see they give the tough kid some love. He's a big old boy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's easy to, especially even if the fullback gets going a little bit, it's easy to try to hand the ball back off to more of the speed back. But he's been extremely effective early on, and can go right back to him up the middle this time. No running room for the big man this time. He can be brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you talk about having some familiar faces. There's some Cardinals out there in the stands. It's kind of weird. We got some, Miller's very close to Mount Vernon. We actually had some Mount Vernon students at our game last night. So it's kind of cool to see the neighboring towns supporting each other.
Absolutely, and I remember last year there was a lot of I believe there was a Thursday night game in Miller, or maybe there was a Thursday night game here, and there's a big contingency from Miller that made the trip up here, and then Mount Vernon made the return trip that next day. As Short is going to get the ball, going to try to go to the outside, he's going to get past the first man, and going to get up a nice run there, gets to the outside, and cuts up field for a gain of about 7.
You know, right there, Skyland, you have the outside receiver who's off the football, and you have a tight end. So that tight end is actually eligible, and that's the guy that I wouldn't be surprised if sneaks out and gets a touch here soon or late in the game. But that play there is a power read. Quarterback really should have pulled it there. We need number 11 to kind of show his legs if McDonald County wants to stay in this game.
And it looked like he was going to there. I was kind of surprised when he did. D'Amico's going to hand the ball off once again to Short, and Short's going to not pick up a ton, but I think it might be enough for be right at the line to gain. But they're going to call it a 4th down.
You have your RPOs, you have your reads. I think you got to put the choice in the quarterback's hands here. Or 26 been getting you yards. It's either 26 or number 11 for me.
I agree. Yeah. Let your quarterback make a decision. You trust him to make your decisions on the field. RPO, but they go to Short, and it's going to be a 1st down for the Mustangs. That's just a matter of Short getting to the outside and falling forward.
Mount Vernon they have one high safety and they got everybody else in the box. So defensively, they are very aggressive. You got to catch them being aggressive at some point in this football game. McDonald County has that in their back pocket. It's just when do they use it?
Yeah, Mount Vernon obviously coming in as the favorites as a number 7 team in the Class 3. The McDonald County looking to catch him as D'Amico is going to take this one, make the first guy miss. Nice little cut up field. Be brought down there by 34. I believe that's Hunter Conway.
Now that's what we're waiting on number 11. He had 97, is that right? Or was it 100?
112.
Yeah, 112 last week. Let's not be afraid to use those legs because you got them. And right there, that was the first. That's the biggest explosive play we've seen yet out of McDonald County. 2-back set again. 33 is eligible, which is this side's tight end. 1 high safety. Now we're back to the run with number 5 Short.
Yep. Defended very well there by Mount Vernon. Catching him, I believe, behind the line of scrimmage or short gain there.
McDonald County is being very fundamental and basic in their play calling. With an athlete at quarterback, you have some tricky stuff. So, down here in the goal line, do we see some more razzle-dazzle, or are we just going to try to pound it into the end zone?
And despite not finding the end zone yet, this McDonald County team has moved the ball really well on the ground, and Short's going to take another one to the outside, be caught right at the line of scrimmage.
Again, there, I think that's a read play for number 11. They're pulling a guy. He did not touch the DN. He ran right around him. That tells me that number 11 is supposed to read him. And based off what I saw, 11 needs to pull that football and find his way to the end zone.
Yeah, show you're an athlete. But, this rushing attack, 86 yards up to this point on the ground for McDonald County. They've moved the ball. They just have not been able to capitalize and find the end zone.
Mount Vernon still being aggressive on defense. Do you catch them being aggressive? I'm telling you, the tight end is your best bet.
And a flag thrown. Delay a game.
It's tough in high school football, man. You're thinking you're trying to get play calls in. They got this clock rule that changes depending on the play, and it's you gotta have your play in an atmosphere like this. It's hard to think. So I think that's the 12th man of Mount Vernon deserves a kudos for that one.
Yeah, like you called it thunder earlier. No, it's not thunder. It's the Mt'neers, and you got some cowbell, some shades of Mississippi State. D'Amico's going to look to gain a better part of 12 here. D'Amico's looking to throw, and the pocket collapses, and he's going to break loose. almost made a guy miss, but Dotson's gonna upend him and make a big time tackle there for the Mountaineers.
Dotson asserting dominance on both sides of the football, man. That's awesome, and it's cool, like you mentioned earlier, seeing guys play both sides of the ball. Class 3, that proves, man. Class 1 football. Let's get both, get those guys playing both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and Dotson, a two-way all-state or all-district player a year ago, all-district, all-conference. We're gonna go for it on 4th down, 4th and 11. D'Amico looks to throw it, and he gonna overshoot his receiver. That was Rubeck. And he found a little bit of space there in the zone defense, but the throw was a little high, and it's going to be a turnover on downs.
You're looking there, down in distance. Mount Vernon changed their coverage on the back end. They went to a 2-high safety look. They've been giving you a 1-high safety look when they're aggressive, but based off the down and distance, they changed. And it looked like McDonald County ran a route concept that was not great for the coverage they saw. So I think they need to catch those guys early in the downs instead of so late.
I agree with you there. This one's going to be a keeper by Johnson. Johnson's going to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage.
Does Mount Vernon stick with what they're doing, or they try to put McDonald County away early with a deep shot or something? No explosive down the field plays yet for either team really. McDonald County needs a turnover. They need a spark.
Yeah, they're going to be looking for a turnover here, and it's going to be the 6-minute water break as we are approaching halftime here in Mount Vernon. We're going to step aside for a quick break. 14-0 is your score. You're watching Friday Night Lights football here with Southwest Missouri Sports. We are back here in Mount Vernon as we are about halfway done with the second quarter as the Mountaineers take over, and Johnston's going to find 81. Coy Felton on the outside.
McDonald County defensively was manned up on the back end there of the defense, and Mount Vernon tried to catch them in a little screen, just grip it, rip it, and let your athlete go to work out there. And we got a few yards, so not a bad play call against aggressive defense. With McDonald County being down early, I would expect them to be more aggressive defensively, trying to make something happen. So let's see what Mount Vernon does here. We're in a trip set, 1-high safety, motion. Looks like we're manned up again, and deep shot taken on the sideline. Oh!
He about had that. It almost looks like Johnston was just trying to get the ball out of bounds, but Julian Hernandez, we talked about him coming in off of an injury after last week, but he came out and nearly made a fantastic snag.
So, that drive there, Skyland, McDonald County, they're saying they're not just going to sit back and let Mount Vernon do what they've done the first quarter. They were very aggressive, manned up, blitz, got pressure on the quarterback, and they're about to get the football back here.
Yeah, that's a big-time play there from McDonald County, getting that stop and giving themselves an opportunity to score before the end of the first half. And tremendous bounce there from the Mount Vernon punter.
The first punt was over the lights. The second one was barely over the heads of the players, but had a lot of roll to it. So not a bad punt for the height. Okay, McDonald County, you got to catch Mount Vernon in their aggressive defense. Catch them in the one high safety. You got to split those seams. Catch them early. Don't wait till 3rd and long to try to take a shot deep. Let's take one early. We do see a trip set. The first time we see trips, so maybe they are going to attack here.
Be 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. D'Amico's going to find Rubeck. Rubeck's going to make the first couple guys miss and dive forward, and it's going to be a gain of about 8.
So we just caught it through it to our athletes. Still one high safety from Mount Vernon. It looks like we are going to be a little more aggressive from McDonald County throwing the football. I think that's great. 11, if you spread out and get in trip set, get in empty set, 11 can also run.
Yeah.
So let's spread them out and see what happens here. Trips left. One high safety. Be aggressive. How about the backside slant? We're going to go to the same play.
There to Rubeck. Rubeck's going to get first down and more. Gain of about 6.
So they went to the same play twice back to back. Hey, if it works, keep going to it.
Absolutely. And Rubeck, fantastic athlete, good basketball player as well. So it's keep getting to your safety or to your athlete. Make Mount Vernon make a play on you.
Trips right, so we flipped it. It's kind of hard to go trips to the short side. Still one high. Manned up from Mount Vernon. Same play the other way. Give number 0 or 1.
Oh,
Number 1, the ball again. That's 3 plays. We just flipped aside. Same play.
Rubeck, and that one's going to be a gain of 10. Looks like it's going to be close enough that, nope. Maybe they're going to think about measuring.
What's also cool about that, Skyland, is they ran the same play 3 times. But Mount Vernon did make an adjustment when we went trips right. They manned up. And still got the playoff. So Mount Vernon is paying attention, and they are ready to make an adjustment. That's the system we were talking about earlier before the game. No matter who's in, we have a system. Mount Vernon 2. No, looks like we still got one high safety. Looks like we're manned.
So we have a little bit different look here. Some motion going around. This one's the number 12, 42. Man, I'm blind. Is it? No, it's number 12.
Now you're the vet here. Tell me to be quiet.
Oh, well, I can't really say much. Oh, that week 1 game against Clever, I called a touchdown for Blake Walters, and it was Jalen Matson that scored. And then I also had to give the player of the game to a kid from Clever, for scoring the game securing touchdown, and turned out he never touched the ball all game long. So
looks like McDonald County is going to almost a muddle huddle. They're wanting to put pressure on Mount Vernon. They're trying to call plays quickly. Got that jet motion. We're going to take a shot here. Throw it, scrambling from number 11.
And it looks like they're going to find Rubeck short. It looked like he was ready to take a shot to the end zone.
That outside receiver out there, I don't see his number yet, but he seems pretty quick. And it looked like he may have burnt the defense of Mount Vernon. Number 11 didn't see it.
Yeah, it's been a tremendous drive there, but drive for Rubeck. That's 4 catches on this drive alone. He's up to 52 receiving yards. 52 of the team's 56.
Trips right again. We're looking to be very aggressive. One high safety. Let's hit that seam. Quarterback run. That's a great call. Let your athlete go to work.
Just like you've been calling for all game long, D'Amico keeps it, and solid gain of about 15 on the ground from the quarterback.
Defense is all about shrinking space. Offense is all about creating space. Same in basketball. We want to spread the floor on offense, but we want to shrink it on defense. So, when they're in that trip set, number 11 has the opportunity to use his athleticism to gain yards as well as throw it. Looks like we have a timeout.
Looks like there's some blood. But
I didn't know we cleared the stands for blood.
Yeah, and the officials didn't know what was going on.
Well, it looks like McDonald County has decided they needed a water break without no official timeout. That's great coaching right there.
They tried to run the clock here.
You know, they just kind of went to the sideline and grabbed water and kind of came back. That's great coaching. Trips right again. Now we may have a timeout by Coach Cox and the Mountaineers.
Yep, Coach Cox is screaming in the ears of the official. He wants to talk it over here. But we thought 14-0 game, 2 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in the second quarter of play. So we're almost at halftime, and McDonald County has moved the ball up and down the field, has yet to find pay dirt, but they're threatening for the third possession in a row right here.
You know, they've been in this trip set the entire time, and I think that's a good strategy here because Mount Vernon's they stayed one high safety or they've went man, and that if both sides are being aggressive, I think that gives number 11 a chance to squeeze out and make a play with his legs.
Yeah, we want to thank you again for tuning in to Friday Night Football here on Southwest Missouri Sports. Skylan Aikens here with you alongside Coach Ryan White making his broadcast debut. Only 3 weeks into the season, 3 weeks too late if I had anything to do with it. We got a barn burner here. I want to thank our sponsors once again, the Clever Barn and the Burger Shack there in Miller. And I like to joke around saying the Burger Shack gives you the best burgers in Miller. Mainly because that's the only place in town to get a burger. But I'm telling you, I ate there before the game last night. And can't beat it. As we get going back here, D'Amico's going to keep it once again. Going to find a hole, make the first guy miss, and he's going to be upended by number 10. It's going to be Grayson Gann that stops him.
Yeah, so they were in that trip set again, and it looks like McDonald County is listening to the broadcast because they're letting number 11 run, space out the field, and let's see our athlete work.
Yeah, and after kind of a slow start, he's up to 43 yards now, leading the Mustangs in rushing yards.
Now you're down here, though. You can't pound it.
And he's going to take it again, stumbling, bumbling, tumbling into the end zone. That's a touchdown for the Mustangs. They are on the board thanks to a 9-yard run by D'Amico. And that's what the doctor ordered if you're a fan of the Mustangs. And our colleague here, Ryan White's been calling for that all game, and look what happens.
Listen, I was a former quarterback, Skyland, not a great one, but those guys back there, they're kind of divas. They want the ball, and a lot of times they are very good athletes. You get those guys in space, they're probably pretty good.
1:55 remaining here, and an extra point is good.
And that's another thing, Class 1 to Class 3. We haven't seen a missed PAT. Class 1, you see a lot of missed PATs. It's almost better to just go for it a lot of the times. And it's really cool to see 14-17 instead of 12-6.
Yeah, and that's kind of something that I kind of noticed with Coach Hill, in the Stockton game. I eventually just kind of went away from going for the extra point, going for a 2-point conversion, and I know there's a lot of metrics and a lot of the math people. I know you're a math guy yourself.
Well, I pretend to be a math person. Don't tell my bosses, but yeah, you could say that.
But yeah, no, the stats almost say it might be better off to kick the extra or go for 2. But right here, perfect 3 for 3 up to this point.
Skyland, we got a drone up above the field. You think Burger Shack can get us one of those for our broadcast?
Hey, Tyler, if you're listening, we need a drone. Give us a nice little bird's eye view.
McDonald County with a little squib. Mount Vernon runs it back to the 35. That seems like a hot spot for start of the offense.
Yeah, decent return. Made the most that you could out of nothing by Zerby or Dotson, I think, actually.
whoever it was, they were moving too fast for me to see. So he was moving.
Dodson coming off the field for this first down.
You got a minute 50 left. You're up 7, Mount Vernon. Do you take a shot? Do you go and try to just run clock and get into the half here, Scott? What do you think?
I'm not a football coach. My football coaching experience comes from NCAA and Madden. I'm going 4 verts trying to get something going here. This is going to be a run to 34. Hunter Conway.
Again, we had a jet motion from Mount Vernon. Every time they do that, the coaches up top are watching those safeties. If they do something they like, they will take a shot here. Especially with McDonald County being as aggressive, they're going man coverage, sending a blitz here. I think you could sneak something vertical.
Another quick handoff there to Conway.
It looks like Coach Cox is not playing Madden tonight. He's not going for the 4 verts, Scott. I think he wants to get out of this half.
And that might be the reason why he's done this for 38 years. And I'm up here.
That's a possibility. We got another timeout.
Yeah, and see who called that. And it could have been McDonald County, if they're feeling.
It definitely was McDonald County, and on their end, they just had 2 good stops. It's 3rd down. They want the football back, so they get it. They just had a good drive. They might pull out the 4 verticals from Madden or college football. Speaking of college football, we have a league together, and you had a pretty big win the other day. Can you talk to us about that?
Oh man, yeah, we had our first. Our first player versus player matchup. The Hawaii Rainbow Warriors came up big against the Utah State Aggies.
And Utah Aggies are coached by Miller's very own Brandon Weiss. I call him the legend, but you kind of gave it to him.
Yeah. A 48-20 win. I mean, let's just say right now this game's a lot closer than that NCAA game was.
Mount Vernon with breaking the huddle very quickly, going back to that under center look and trying to power it with number 33. McDonald County's ready for it, and they stuff them here. Looks like they're going to get the football back. We got another timeout.
Yeah, I think I've made it clear through our first couple of broadcasts. Obviously, as an employee of Miller as well. That next day at school, I told him I was going to bring out the Hawaiian shirt in honor of the Rainbow Warriors, but it was picture day, so I figured that'd be not the best look.
Well, it would have been captured forever if you would have brought out that shirt.
It would have been, and Coach Weiss would have every time he looked at the picture in the hallway, he would realize, man, I probably shouldn't have lost the Skyland Aikens on that one.
I know you set a fire under him, and he's been studying. I tell you, he's been studying. Probably during health class when he's supposed to be teaching. He's YouTubing. He's YouTubing.
I sit in his health class, and I know he's over there looking on his phone and on his computer an awful lot. So, but no, that was running an offense that would make the old time coaches happy. He was running a lot of wishbone and flexbone and a lot of speed options stuff.
Well, Skyland, there's not film on college football, so you just gave me a little bit of information that I need. Mount Vernon going to go for it here on 4th down late in the half. Looks like they just try to draw them off sides. McDonald County held their water with a forced timeout. I assume we're going to see a punt here.
Yeah, I think that was just an opportunity to try to get them to jump real quick, see if they could get a cheap offsides call. Quick break of the huddle. And then probably, I'm guessing there's a pretty loud cadence on the hearts count there, and but the McDonald County Mustangs not jumping. But don't you worry, I got something special worked up for you.
I think you're going to need more than 4 verticals. I think you're going to need more than that. Now, granted, college football, I have created the Miller Cardinals, and I'm kind of handicapped because they're 65 overalls. So I think you have a shot at it this year until that recruiting class comes in.
I don't know. You got like 3 of the top 5 Heisman.
Well, that's because I'm good on the sticks. I'm good on the sticks. We got a punt here. Do we fake it? Do we fake this football? I don't think you do. I think you punt it.
I know 4th and short. It's tempting. Just pin them back deep. Let your defense go to work.
Ooh, and McDonald County with a fingertip away from a block.
I'm telling you, I thought he got there. I thought he was going to get there and block that kick.
Now McDonald County is going to start on their 25. They have 1 timeout left. This is where you go to the well. That first drive when you're motioning and when you're setting up plays for this right here. How do the safeties react? What are they doing to motion? This is when you have your play for that scenario. But it looks like, Mount Vernon's probably going to play 2 high safeties. Maybe not. No, it looks like they're going to stay 1 high. So you have that aggressiveness by Mount Vernon if you want to try to sneak somebody out.
Nice little. It looked like they were setting up a swing pass and shorts on the outside. I'm telling you, if they would have hit short, before he got open or got stopped out there, ran out of real estate, he had nobody on this side of the field. Dotson was able to diagnose it and come in and make that stop. But I mean, Short was running with the wide open spaces. And
well, it's funny you say that. So what's happening there is they're swinging, hoping your safety or corner bites. So that was them setting up because they did release somebody into that seam, which is the weak spot of a cover 3.
See, that's why I have you. D'Amico's gonna look long here. And he's got
great shot.
Hit him right in the seam there. I didn't see who. Number 8, it looks like Matthew Hodgson.
Number 11 can spin it. Quarterback from McDonald County, left-handed. That's a great pass right there. Trips left. We're going to be aggressive. We got 2 high safety look. You got to attack the outside flat, which they did. I'm just going to throw it away. Great decision. When you have that 2 high safety look, it's very hard unless you have Tyreek Hill back there to just go deep. So you got to attack the sideline, which McDonald County, they had routes there. It just looked like Mount Vernon did a good job of covering.
Yeah, I'm glad you said something about that. D'Amico, his stats aren't going crazy, that you would expect out of a big-time performance in through the air. But, no, absolutely, he has spun the ball great and has looked really good doing it. And right here, he's going to try to escape and going to launch it out of bounds once again.
There is actually 11 seconds on the board here, and I got 6. But, it looks like, Mount Vernon's going to play shell coverage, cover 4. They're going to not get burnt deep. This is where number 11 has to make a decision quick and get rid of it because the deep ball's not going to be there against this great coach defense.
The 11 seconds here, you're on your own 48. Probably got 1 timeout left, so you maybe have a shot at something short. And he has a man deep, and it is caught. Beat him on the outside, and a tremendous play there. That was Brody Rossler made the big play just moments before and made probably the biggest play of the game right there.
So you had the trips left, and when you go trips left, a lot of times defenses will man that backside, and it's kind of hard to tell because how deep Mount Vernon was playing, if that was the case. But when you have one-on-one over there, sometimes you just, if we're even, you're beat, and he just stood up and let his teammate go to work.
Yeah, that was beautiful, and I mean, just perfectly placed pass. I mean, that's just one that you see on Saturdays, and a lot of times, if it's not a good quarterback on Saturdays, you don't even see it then. But a tremendous play there by D'Amico, finding Brody Rossler, and we got a tie ball game.
No, and that's a great job by McDonald County's A, coaching staff, but B, players, man. They're buying into whatever whatever coach is saying, and they dialed up great play calls based off of film watching and what they have seen early in this game. They were saving a shot. That's the first time we've seen a deep shot even attempted. They were saving that for the right time, and it looked like it paid off.
And right time that was. We got 4 seconds left. It's a brand new ball game after Mount Vernon led 14-0 for the majority of this.
Mount Vernon changing up the kick return based because there's a lot of squibbing going on. Started the game in a 5-2-2. Now it's a 5-3. Got another squib. Let's just knee it and get out of the half here. Mount Vernon's coming on offense. If you're Mount Vernon, you like for your scoreboard person to have a little home cooking there. Just let that 1 second go. We don't need a fumble. We don't need an injury here. Let's just run that 1 second. But we are going to have a snap from scrimmage as number 4 takes the field. We take a knee here, Skyland. We don't do anything crazy. I don't know there. We are in trips, right? That's why I'm in the booth. I don't know what I'm talking about. We're going to take it. We're going to run it with our best player, and he's going to gain some yards.
And more. He's going to make the first guy miss. And a big run there to end the half.
Listen, when you have guys that are that good, you don't take a knee because we're one guy. He kind of ran into his own player. You don't run into your own guy. You may be 6 there.
Yeah, a tremendous run there by Braden Dotson in the quarter. However, it's not going to be enough to score it, and we're going to go into the break tied at 14 apiece. And I mean, before we do anything, let's just recap scoring. Starting the first quarter, it started with a 19-yard touchdown pass, Gavin Johnston to Braden Dotson. A nice little short play or short pass that kind of broke to the outside. Actually, it's a 49-yard touchdown pass that broke to the outside. That was to give him a 7-0 lead. Mount Vernon would strike again with 49 seconds left in that opening quarter with a 7-yard touchdown on an RPO from Gavin Johnston to Jarrett Zerby. Put it 15-0. After a couple turnovers on downs, couple punts, McDonald County got on the board with 1:55 remaining in that second quarter. On a 9-yard touchdown run by D'Amico, a beautiful keeper that was capped off a really good drive where he was able to make a lot happen with his legs. And then you just saw a 49-yard touchdown pass almost as time was getting ready to expire. 14 seconds left, and that brings us to 14-14 at halftime. So Coach, I'm gonna hand you the keys here. What did you see there in that first half?
First drives, you could tell both offensive coordinators had a plan, and they were very. It was easy to see, easy to call because you could see their plan. Both teams wanted to come out, run the football. McDonald County down their best running back, but they were not going to shy away from the run. They wanted to start the run and then play action and RPO off of that. Later in Mount Vernon the same. They want to give 33 the football, pound it, and they did that early. He had some explosive plays, but both teams have also adjusted, and that's what's cool to see is come out with a plan. When the opposite team adjusts, what's your adjustment? And both teams have done a fantastic job of adjusting to the other team's adjustments. So, for McDonald County, it was we're going to pound it. Now we're going to spread it out and let number 11 use his legs. And now when you're worried about that, we're going to take a shot down the sideline to end the half. Mount Vernon they get fancy. They remind me of like Kansas City Chiefs style of offense where it's got some razzle dazzle if you're paying attention to it. They're going to use 33 as the eye candy and slip people behind them. So great job on offense on both ends, but also defensively, you see the cat and mouse game. You see 2 high safety look. You see 1 high safety look. They've went man. They've pressured the quarterback on both teams, and this is a really great coached game on both ends.
Yeah, Coach Hoover over at McDonald County has definitely done a tremendous job. You know what you're going to get from Coach Cox. He's been doing it for, almost 50 years on the sideline. But absolutely has been tremendously coached. Game of adjustments, and so far, we're deadlocked after one half of play. Passing the ball, we'll go through stats real quick. I know you got something else you wanted to add in there. Gavin Johnston leads passing for the Mount Vernon Mount'neers with 77 yards. You got a couple of touchdowns, including that 49-yarder to Braden Dotson. Running the ball, Dotson leads the way with 42 yards. Hunter Conway right behind him has 5 carries for 12 yards. Dotson has 4 carries for 42. Receiving is led by Dotson with 49 on that one reception. Zerby has 17. Coy Felton adds 5, and Julian Hernandez with 6. And this has been a lot of talk has been made about this electric offense, but it hasn't been a whole lot of flash here there's been a lot of flash, but just not a lot of substance in terms of total yards.
No, yeah, and it's it's hats off to the defense also. If both teams and really Mount Vernon's defense there early in the first, both offenses are driving, but the defense has responded down here in our own end zone. They were able to make a couple stops, and that stuff is not X's and O's. That's all the will of the kids, man. And kudos to those kids. They're big, strong kids, and they're fighting up front, and they're doing things that aren't as noticeable, And it's easy to notice that the 49-yard pass, but it's hard to notice those guys up front that are just battling to hold the line of scrimmage, and both teams are battling on the line of scrimmage. Great job on the defensive end from both teams.
Yeah, the only looking for McDonald County. It's going to be D'Amico leading the way, 9 for 15, throwing the ball, 128 yards, had that long 49-yard touchdown there at the end. Running the ball, D'Amico took over there at the final 2 possessions. He leads the way, capitalizing with that 9-yard touchdown. There they get the Mustangs on the board at first. He's got 52 yards. James right behind him at 39, and Short with 28. The Mustangs are missing their top running back. However, 119 yards on the ground in the opening half against what has been a pretty stingy Mount Vernon defense up to this point. You got to feel pretty good about it. Catching the ball for McDonald County, number 8 Brody Rossler leads the way with 78. And I think all 78 of those came on the that last drive, or those last 2 drives, after catching a 21-yarder, then a 49-yard touchdown. Rubeck leads the way in receptions with 6. He has 52 yards. And then Navin and Short both have 5 yards on receiving the ball, bringing the total to 256 total yards up to this point. What have you seen out of this McDonald County offense?
Again, they're spreading the ball around, running the football with number 5 and number 26 early in the game. But it's going to come down to me is number 11. Can number 11 use his athleticism and be a threat throwing the football? And he was there late in the first half. He showed how versatile he could be. And like he was last game, running for 112, throwing for a lot of yards as well. So, offensively, we saw early one formation. That seems to be their bread and butter. But once it wasn't getting the touchdowns, they had an adjustment, which seemed to be the trip set. So I'm curious to see, do we get any motions? Do we get any empty sets? Those types of things that can really put Mount Vernon's defense in a bind, because they haven't seen it. If they've shown it on film, they've seen it, but film and in person are 2 different things.
Yeah, we welcome you into the booth. We got to try to figure out about getting some lights on in here. We're still young, but I can't see anymore. So, but we just want to say thank you again for tuning in. We're at halftime here in Mount Vernon as the Mount'neers and the McDonald County Mustangs are tied at the halftime break. We want to say thank you to our sponsors, the Clever Barn and Burger Shack. Be sure to check out the Clever Barn for your upcoming events of any kind. If you like old barns and rustic themes, the Clever Barn was built in the 1880s, and just wait until you see what Randy and Laura Walden have done out there. Located just a few miles outside of Clever on Jasmine Road, they were recently voted number 3 wedding venue in all of Southwest Missouri. They can't wait to host your event. Give them a call at 417-350-2343. And also, thank you to the Burger Shack. The Burger Shack is a proud sponsor of the Miller Cardinals, and for tonight, one night only, the Mount Vernon Mount'neers. And it is a taste of game day. Tyler Snyder and his crew is guaranteed to bring you the best burger in Miller. They are located right by the high school in the shade of the football stands. Be sure to stop there for your pregame treat. And just want to say thank you again. I know I talked a little bit about going out to the Clever Barn. Let's kick it out there right now as we caught up with Laura Walden.
Hello, everybody. Skyline Akins with Southwest Missouri Sports here. Joined with me is Laura Walden of the Clever Barn. First off, just thank you for taking a little bit of time and talking with us.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
So, Clever Barn here in Clever, Missouri, kind of event venue. Just kind of tell me a little bit more about the about your venue.
Yeah, it was built in the 1880s, and my husband and I have done all the work on it to create a very relaxing, laid-back feel as soon as you get here. And we have every kind of event you can think of out here. We have weddings, birthday parties, anniversaries, karaoke nights. We have ladies' nights, guys' nights, movie parties, a little bit of everything really out here.
Yeah, it really was there's something for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You were taking me around here and showing me there was everything from a putting green to tiki bars. And,
yeah.
It really is, there is something for everybody.
Oh, well, thank you.
So when did you guys open?
We opened up May 17th, 2014. So we just now celebrated our 10th year anniversary.
10 years.
This summer, yeah, we went just like that. And we've just been having a blast, and we're always working on it. And it's just the two of us, and a lot of work, but we love what we're doing, have huge passion for it, and you just never know what you're going to see every time you come out. So we get a kick out of that.
What was your inspiration kind of behind wanting to open something like this up?
Well, you're probably going to laugh at this. Actually, we used to have parties here back when it was just a nasty old barn, and we're having a party upstairs, our Waldoween, which is our Halloween party we have every year, with our last name being Walden. It started with Waldo. So we're having our Waldoween back in 2013, and we had like 50 plus, people. And just having a blast, and at that time it was just nasty, Yeah. And as they were leaving, we were out there by the bonfire, and I said, "What do you think about turning this whole thing into a venue, kind of thing?" And he looked at me and said, "I think you're nuts." And I said, "Well, I think so too, but you don't know till you try." So we started that very next morning, and we opened up 6 months later. And ever since then, we just get busier and busier and more known, We're really, really excited with where it's gone.
Yeah, so, you kind of talked about, you host all kinds of events, parties, guys' nights, girls' nights, weddings. I think I've seen pictures on Facebook of, I don't know if there was, like, the Clever prom or not prom, but, like, there was, like, some event out here, I think a couple of years ago or something like that. But just kind of talk about what are some of your favorite events to put on.
My favorite events? I would say the most events we have out here are my Sweet 16 birthday parties.
Huh.
They have an absolute blast. Usually the moms are down here playing board games or shooting pool or whatever, and the girls are all upstairs and they're singing karaoke and they're dancing and having a little party, and they get the whole barn to themselves. And that's something else too. They can either bring in everything, or I can take care of everything and have it all ready for them, when they arrive. So I try to be really accommodating, for, whatever they have in mind,
Yeah, you've been telling me, there's always something going on down here. Roughly, how many events do you guys host, every year?
Oh, Lord. I would have to say at least 100, probably.
Wow.
Yeah, with everything, because some weekends are double booked, sometimes I'm booked from Thursday through Sunday. It varies, and we're open all year round. So
obviously, Clever Barn. Not all your business comes from Clever,
Mm-hmm.
but just kind of talk about the relationship that you kind of have with the community out here.
Oh yeah, my gosh. I love having my open hangout nights, and like you say, we've got the putting green, the bowling, the kids zone, the karaoke dance floor, big bonfire pit, out the back. It's just we wanted it to be a laid back spot where people could come out and have a good time. And then now we got our food truck, so now we're doing that as well. And we don't charge anything, for individual things that they're going to do, and people appreciate that because, the economy, so I still want them to have a place to come out and have a good time, but not, break the bank,
Right.
So.
Yeah, so if someone wants to, schedule an event, whether it's a, if it's just like a group hangout or, a Sweet 16 birthday party, what's the process look like? To schedule an event like that?
Yeah. My number is 417-350-2343. They can call me, text me, whatever they're comfortable with. You can find me on Facebook, The Clever Barn, and I'm on Instagram, Google, all of those social medias. And yeah, I would love to talk to you. I'd love to have your events out here. The coolest thing about having a venue is that we've made so many friends out here, and it's amazing. They're not customers; they are actual. They're our friends, and we love that. We just really get a kick out of that,
So someone just gives you a call and then kind of says what they're wanting to do, what kind of event they're wanting to do, and is there like different package plans that they can choose from? Or
Yeah. For my weddings, I can do the all-inclusive, or I can do all you. So the all-inclusive, I take care of everything for up to 50 people. That's their catering. That is, all of their paper products. That would be their officiant. That would be their fireworks send-off. What else. Everything we have, they would have access to it. I know I'm forgetting some things. I do apologize about that. But in essence, if they have something in mind, I'll make it happen for them. And if they have everything already, down what they want to do, they just bring everything in and I'll help them. I can run the bar for them, or I can take care of their food, or I can just be off to the side and be there when they need me, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so having an event venue like this, I mean, I'm sure you've kind of seen a little bit of everything. I mean, just what's been a few of your favorite stories or memories that you've had hosting events?
Memories out here. I'll tell you one. This is really, really cool. Talking about having relationships. You know. Okay, so I'm having my ladies' nights here one night, and I have like 5 or 6 ladies, over there at the bar with me, just chatting a little bit. And in walks a lady that I didn't know, so I walked over, shook her hand, thanked her for coming out, introduced myself. And she said, well, my name is Amber. I got married here about 2 years ago. And I'm like, oh, good Lord, I'm sorry. She goes, no, you meet a lot of people. I get it, And she goes, plus I looked a lot different then, and everything. She's now one of my absolute best friends. I mean, I kid you not.
Cool.
I love things like that, repeat business, but it's not just repeat business. It's I'm actually a part of their life. You know what I mean? I'm part of their memories that they're making out here in this really, really cool old barn that we breathed life back into. Yeah. It was ready to come down, and like I said, my husband said I was nuts. But I said, well, you don't know, till you try. So we keep trying, and just love it.
Yeah, and I think you're kind of putting a unique opportunity, have your wedding out here. I know from my experience, that plot of land is always going to have an extremely special place in all these people's hearts. So so being able to kind of be being a person that kind of helps those memories being made, that's got to be a really rewarding role to play there as well.
It's amazing. I meet people from all over, and it's just it's so cool. I can't say cool enough because I love what I do, and we have such huge passion for it, and we just try to keep it,
Hello, everybody. Skyline Akins with Southwest Missouri.
Introduce myself, and she said, well, my name is Amber. I got married here about 2 years ago. And I'm like, oh, good Lord, I'm sorry. She goes, no, you meet a lot of people. I get it, And she goes, plus I looked a lot different then, you know, and everything. She's now one of my absolute best friends. I mean, I kid you
That's
not.
cool.
I love things like that, you know, repeat business, but it's not just repeat business. It's I'm actually a part of their life. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
part of their memories that they're making out here in this really, really cool old barn that we breathed life back into.
Yeah.
You know, it was ready to come down, you know, and like I said, my husband said I was nuts. But I said, well, you don't know, you know, till you try. So we keep trying, you know, and just love it.
Yeah, and I think you're kind of putting a unique opportunity, you know, have your wedding out here. You know, I know from, you know, my experience, you know, that plot of land is always going to have an extremely special place in, you know, all these people's hearts. So,
Oh, yeah.
so being able to kind of be a, being a person that kind of helps those memories being made, that's got to be a really rewarding role to play there as well.
It's amazing. I meet people from all over, and it's just it's so cool. I can't say cool enough because I love what I do, and we have such huge passion for it, and we just try to keep it, you know, authentic, you know, because it is an old barn, you know, and but we kept it original as we possibly could, you know what I mean? And I really feel that there's something for every age out here.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why we named it the Clever Barn, because we thought it was kind of clever that they could have anything out here, you know. And we just get a big kick out of it, you know. There's nothing like sharing memories with people.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate your time. You know, is there just anything else that you want to leave everybody with, or?
Really, I just want to thank everybody for accepting us, because we're out in the middle of nowhere, you know. We're not in the middle of a big town with a big, you know, marquee sign and lights and everything, you know. We're kind of out in the boonies a little bit.
I think that adds to a lot. Adds to
you
it.
know, it really does. People tell me all the time that this is a sweet getaway.
Yeah.
And at nighttime, you got to see it at nighttime sometime. Even if you just drive by when we're having an event, it's like the circus has come to town. You know what I mean? Because there's just lights everywhere, and everybody's having a great time, and it's just so fun, you know.
Well, I know you gave your contact information once. I just want to give it out one more time,
Yeah.
just for everybody.
Yeah. 417-350-2343 is my phone number. I would love to chat with you if you want to, or you can just message my my business page if you want.
Awesome. Thank you, Laura.
You're
Really appreciate you
welcome.
sitting down with us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We're trying something different with some microphones here, so may have to bear with us for just a second as we test the audio, try to figure out if it's how it's all working. Try talking.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it looks like maybe it's working.
Yeah, we're getting the visuals. Let me text the insider man and see if he can hear us.
Yeah, we'll give a big shout out to Dwayne White. Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe a relation to.
So
he says we're good on this screen.
oh, perfect. Okay, so we got about we got a few minutes before kick off. So we're gonna try to get all this audio stuff figured out, and we'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. Skyline Naked.
All right, I think we're gonna call that good. Thank you for bearing with us as we got a few kinks. Maybe week 3 on the field, but as a broadcast team, it's week 1 with us.
Well, it's not even on. It's about what 24 minutes, really. I mean, total football time. So we're here in the second half. McDonald County looks like they're about to kick off. I expect a little pooch like they did in the first half. And we got an onside.
Onside kicks to be recovered by 24 of Mount Vernon. That is Hudson Gaddy.
On those onside kicks, Skyler, you'd like to see that front line. If it goes past you, go hit somebody. It's hard enough catching that ball on the ground, but you like to have some protection. Look at a few Mount Vernon boys decided not to go for it. They need it, in my opinion, try to go hit somebody, protect your guys. McDonald County in one high safety look. That tells me they're going to be aggressive, depending on what Mount Vernon comes out in. I expect 33 to get the football pretty early in this half, kind of reassert your style of football.
Yeah, Dotson finished the half with a big run, and Gavin's going to look long, and he's going to find number 10. I believe that is that's Grayson Gann. That's going to be his first reception of the game. Grayson Gann, a gain of, give him
9 1/4.
Yeah, I'd say as close to 10 as you can be without getting that first down.
That's a very aggressive play call right out the gate for Mount Vernon. I think we're going to get a measure here. But that just goes to show you, Mount Vernon, they're not going to, they're not playing to lose or nothing like that. They want to win this football game, so they came out. They're going to be aggressive. Put the ball in the air. Got to change the ruling. No measure, no nothing, just an eyeball first down.
First down for the Mount'neers.
Guess we just cycled through refs and get the first down here in Mount Vernon. Ace formation. Pass on the second play.
Going to Zerby, and Zerby takes a massive hit.
It looked like McDonald County kids kind of hit each other.
Yeah. Everyone got up fine, but yeah, Zerby, I think he felt the pressure. He felt the McDonald County defense collapsing on him, and just got a little too excited, and ball went through his hands there.
We got trips right formation. We've already seen 2 passes now. Second and long, we get a run.
Dotson is going to take off up the middle. That's going to be a gain of 12.
It's really great when you can, you're in a sprint set, you can just hand it off and you get 12. That's a really handy weapon to have as an offensive coordinator.
Yeah, Dotson, I mean, he is just electric athlete, on the football field and on the baseball field as well. All-state baseball selection from last season. Tremendous catcher, actually, in their, I believe it was their district championship game against Aurora, led the game off. Obviously, a big rivalry game in Aurora in the district championship. Led the game off with an inside-the-park home run. So, definitely an elite athlete, and he's showing it once again here.
Quarterback pulls on a read there. That's what you're able to do when you have an elusive and a powerful running back like 33. Quarterback can catch people falling asleep and just pull it.
3rd and 5.
McDonald County in a one high safety look. If you watch number 9 stance, it's not your typical, stance. He's actually looks kind of like a sprinter, like he's ready to come downhill. Now we're manned up. Does Mount Vernon take a shot?
3rd and medium, that'll be a chance to. Oh man, pressure big time is going to lead to an incompletion, and I believe that was number 2 of number 12 of Matt County. Ryder Martin just came off the edge, looked like it was shot out of a cannon. Right at.
So they're in a man coverage there. And Mount Vernon takes a shot and just can't come down with it. They have dropped a few, and I'm struggling on my job. No time or nothing going here. We have 10-19. I'll get caught up. Little bunch set. Haven't seen this.
Johnson looks back. He's going to throw it deep down the middle, up the seam to Dotson, and a flag comes out.
Launch set. First time we see it, that's film watching right there. You can tell because that formation was called for a specific play. They got in it, snapped it quick because they knew they were going to get something they liked, and they had a touchdown there to 33, and it looks like that we got PI possibly in the secondary.
And that is huge. Give me the call. Yeah, and it looked like the throw was just a tad in front of Dotson, but gets bailed out there, and a big time penalty. And Mount Vernon's is right down, back down to back into the red zone.
You like to see those things on first down. You can live with it, but on fourth down, in your own territory, you don't want to give up. Whether you like the call or not, those guys are calling it, and you gotta be disciplined in the secondary.
We have a 1st and 10 from the 20. 10-13 remaining here in this third quarter of action. 14-14.
Cover 0 here. We're probably going to blitz a little bit, and we do. Oh, great call, draw.
And off a draw to Dotson up the middle. Fantastic play call. And a 20-yard touchdown for Braden Dotson as the Mount Vernon Kings on their feet.
I watched Mount Vernon football a lot whenever they had their state run a few years ago. And it's funny that play just happened because I was thinking about that on the way here. The draw on excuse me, on late downs was one of their go-tos during that year. And that's the first time we've seen it here, and it scores.
21-14. Got 10 minutes and 6 seconds remaining. We'll step aside for just a second. You're watching Mountaineer and Mustang football here on Southwest Missouri Sports.
We should be able to hear our stuff.
Hello, everybody.
Right now.
We are back here in Mount Vernon, and right after the Mountaineer touchdown, and Rubeck is going to bring the ball out for McDonald County and is going to be upended there just shy of the 30-yard line. And Coach, I know you were just thrilled to see that draw play there by Dodson.
No, yeah, I was thinking back to the last time I watched a lot of Mount Vernon football, and it was in that state run here. And that was one of them. They got in heavy sets, didn't jump in spread, and didn't do some RPOs. And they're doing the same thing tonight. It's just different formations than it was that year. So that draw play, they used a lot back then. I was excited to see it.
1st and 10 for McDonald County. Mustangs get out there for their first possession of the second half.
Trips left. They had success in it out of the half. Number 11,
D'Amico's going to be caught up for gain of nothing.
So McDonald County's already saying, hey, in the first half, this worked for us. We're going to start in it. We're not going to start in our two-back set. We're going to start in trips. Let number 11 run a little bit, see what happens. See how Mount Vernon has adjusted to this.
Absolutely, and that I would like to see maybe a little more quarterback run game out of that two-back set. It seems like there you can keep the opposing defense on their toes, maybe a little bit more than out of a trip set. But this one's gonna be incomplete. Ball just slides right past Rubeck.
Mount Vernon in a one high safety look, and there's the weak spot. You know, the slant. You know, the safety has a third quarter. Quarter has a third, but you're hitting that sweet spot in between. And McDonald County just has to catch the football. That's a great play call.
Yeah, there's been several incompletions by McDonald County where it seems like maybe the receiver took their eye off the ball.
We're going to take a shot here down the sideline.
And ball thrown just ahead of number 8, Rossler. Rossler, the guy that caught the big 49-yarder there at the end of the first half. They decided to go back to him up the seam, and this one was just too far out of his reach.
Yeah, so, you know, they went back to the trip set. A lot of teams in trips, like I said earlier, they'll man that backside, and that's kind of what we got is we had trips left, one-on-one on the right, and you put your best athlete there to try to make a play, and it just didn't happen this time.
That's going to bring up a 4th and 8 and a punt for McDonald County. The ball is up and going to be fair caught there by Gaddy.
Good punt again, right? Again.
Yeah, tremendous punting. I know that's not the sexy thing to talk about here, but both punters have really boomed them.
Yeah, I've been around programs and been on teams where we don't have a great punter, and you might as well just go for it wherever you're at because you're going to punt it and only get 10 yards. Well, you might as well just go for it. So to have a guy that can flip the field like we just seen here, that's awesome. 9:07 left in the third. Mount Vernon in ace formation, jet across that's all the setup to see what
Dotson right back up the middle again.
So the problem with, McDonald County's in man coverage, when you jet across the formation with the receiver, the safety follows, and if 33 gets past the line of scrimmage, there's going to be nobody back there to help because they're being so aggressive. And 33 about slipped out for a big long gain of 9. That will do.
That's going to bring Dotson up to 83 yards on the game. After kind of a slow start, his last 4 runs have gone for 34, 12, 20, and 9. And Bunch can be tossed out to the outside to Dotson. And he's going to get across the 50-yard line and go across the 40, 35, 30, and push out about the 25-yard line. Another great play there, going for about almost 40 yards there for Dotson.
Typically, when you see bunch formations, you have 2 ideas. You're either going to bunch and you're going to run everybody across the field, or you're going to bunch and you're going to come back out. And the first time they ran bunch, they went across the field on that pass play. That was a flag. The second time, you bunch and you sweep to the outside. Bunch formation once again. And we're going to see that play action boot off of it. Great play.
There's going to be a pass complete there to Hunter Dawson.
Really cool to see different formations and different plays in the second half.
This will be enough for a first down.
But the idea is still the same, Skyland. We're gonna give it to 33. He's gonna get 25 yards. Then we're gonna RPO play action. We're doing the same stuff, but we're in different formations. 33's out of the game, I believe. Fake the toss.
And got a wide open man in the end zone. Beautiful play action. Grayson Dan catches it for a 20-yard putty. And break that one down for us.
Well, so you just had a sweep that went for 20-plus yards, and they subbed him out. I don't see that, but you're in the same formation, and so you fake that play, and now your bunched up receivers they leak out behind the defense because they're so worried about the run.
That is touchdown number 3 for Gavin Johnston after
low kick there that kind of got tipped, so no good on the kick.
That's going to be Gavin Johnston's 3rd touchdown pass, 117 yards. He's been efficient. 7 completions on 9 attempts, 117 yards, 3 touchdowns. can't ask for a much better day there, from a quarterback trying to control a game.
No, you're right, and it works in your favor as a quarterback when you have a strong run game. And the defense is so worried about the run, and your fakes, your play actions are going to work, and they're working so well that these guys they're scot free, they're wide open. So it's a great play calling by Mount Vernon. Now, McDonald County has to adjust. They got to be aggressive offensively, but you don't just have to throw it up. I know the one play scored I needed to have. We went back to it. We got to find something else that's going to work for us.
27-14 your score, and just like that, the least doubled there for Mount Vernon after being tied there at the break. And number one is going to bring it out to just past the 35-yard line. That was Rubeck. Completely lost his name. Completely slipped my mind there for a second. Called his name a lot so far, though.
I struggle with the names myself. It's 33, it's 12, it's 7. Mount Vernon with the one high safety. Maybe coming over here to be a man. Looks like we might be, nope, we're not. We're backing off.
Because on the keeper, he's going to go outside the tackle. He's going to try to get to the outside, and going to be met up by. He refused to go down, and it might have not been the best business decision for him. He got hit pretty hard. Dotson came in there late and really laid the wood on him, but he's going to be brought down for a loss of probably about two.
Sometimes the problem is those guys are a lot of times better athletes. Sometimes they don't want to go down. They believe every play can go for a touchdown. And sometimes you just got to go down. Trips right. Let's see if we.
Look at that. Unless you gave him forward progress.
We'll blow the whistle.
Yeah, no joke. D'Amico is going to look medium, and he's going to find number 6, Dominic Navin. And he's spun out of it, went backwards.
I say go down, Skyland, but these guys, they want to win, and it's a close ball game. They're trying to make things happen. So, it's easy for us coaches and fans to say go down. They know they can break the.
However, from having a 3rd and 1 to a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, that's the give and take. Sometimes you're going to bust it, get some effort. Sometimes you're going to lose some.
3rd and 5 here from the 44-yard line. 6:12 remaining in the third quarter. And D'Amico is going to take it himself, and he's going to get close.
It's definitely close, but I think they're going to give it to him. If it's anything like the load we had for Mount Vernon on this, it'd be a first without even having to measure. Looks like we're gonna look at it. We're gonna measure.
And while we're measuring, we'll take a look at some of the scores around the area. In 8-man, Jasper Lockwood had the 58-6 lead over Jasper. Aurora looks like they have a shot to get their first win of the season, 20-6 in the third quarter over Monette. Seneca leads Nevada 42-0 in a battle top 10 teams. Stratford leads Catholic 28-0. As I saw, 44-0 was a score for Marionville over Skyline. Not that that has any special place in Coach White's heart.
Yes, sir. I am a Marionville alum, but I bleed red right now. So.
But also, kind of interesting, Reed Spring only up 14 on Clever. And as much flack as I've gotten, especially from this guy right here, I was a Blue Jay, and I before we had football, and after those first, just absolutely brutal first few years, starting the season 2-0 with a respectable showing against Reed Spring, we're gonna be out there next week. Next Friday night, they host Forsyth. So I'm excited to get back out there and see what Rex Dieters and company has up their sleeve for the Forsyth Panthers. It looks like we have a timeout called.
I think it's that awesome heat advisory timeout. Even though it's 65 out right now. Actually, I don't know the degrees, but it feels great. But we do have that mandatory halfway through the quarter timeout, which is awesome. It's kind of like a TV timeout in the NFL. And we get that for the first 4 weeks.
A few other scores. Lamar leads Tipton 44-0. Nick leads Joplin 35-0. East Newton over Cassville 28-14 at half. 31-0. Camden over Smith Cotton.
Guess I'm just going to run the time until it's out. So I'll pause it. We got a little jet sweep for the first time.
Ryder Martin on the run.
Number 12, Ryder and Martin on the carry. Back to number 50, Bryce Richter.
Yeah, minimal gain.
No gain on the play, second down. Second complete to the Mustangs. That's 48-yard line.
5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. D'Amico looks deep. He's going to check it down, and he's going to try to check it down. Be dropped by Brody Rossler.
McDonald County has had a couple of drop balls tonight. So, you don't like to see that. You got to catch the football. Your number's not going to be called all the time, especially when you're in trips and empty. That's a lot of receivers. Your number's called. We got to see that ball in.
We're about 3rd and 10.
Rips left. It's rocking. 3rd and long.
D'Amico looks downfield. Doesn't see anything. He's going to try to break to the outside. He's going to eventually throw it into double coverage. And going to be broken up. But you haven't seen D'Amico make very many mistakes here, and that one may have been just a case of trying to make something out of nothing. But that was a dangerous throw.
Yeah, and he's rolling right. He's a left-handed quarterback, so you watch him how he has to get back to his left side to throw the football, running right. So that's a difficult throw, one, and you're throwing up into double coverage.
That's going to force a McDonald County punt. And another good punt here is going to be caught at the 18-yard line. And you make the Zerby looked like he was going to make the first guy miss, but kind of grabbed him around the neck. And I can see this possibly being a face mask. Got him a little high around the neck area.
You'd like to see, those flags come out as soon as they happen.
Absolutely.
He threw it, and he definitely got a hold of face and neck and all of that. But let's throw it right when you see it instead of don't wait for the crowd's reaction, because then it just kind of it just seems that way. Crowd saw it.
And I'm sure, especially that stuff like that drives you crazy as a basketball coach. And I don't know how many times I've been at a game and it's you see a foul, nothing's called, and then you start hearing stuff from the stands, and then all of a sudden whistle blows and.
Well, I think it's a little difficult. Basketball's full speed, and so they're watching 1,000 things at the same time, so it's difficult. But that was pretty blatant there. Mount Vernon back under center. Maybe we're going to see some power football here in the second half. Why not when you have number 33?
I'm telling you, Dodson, he's a elusive speedback, but he is built. I mean, he is a big, strong kid, and he can carry the workload.
Well, that's why when you mentioned him playing catcher, I didn't know what position, but I immediately in my head was like he has to be a catcher based off his body type. Back under center I formation. I bet Mount Vernon's going to power it, and then they're going to have some sort of play action off of this formation in this drive.
Another good run there.
Number 33, Vernon.
Unless we just pound and score.
He's tackled by number 8, Vernon.
He's up over 100 yards,
Carried by
over
Jackson
125 yards to be
Vernon
exact.
Mt'neers.
At 127.
About caught up with the time here. It's piling up. Doing my best. McDonald County defensively, still one high safety look, walking up 5 defenders on the line. You have to match number for number. Here's that play action.
Gavin's going to take off, and he's going to be just slide, just take a gain of about 7.
So that seems to be Coach Cox's go-to. We're going to pound it, then we're going to play action. And it's worked the entire night right there. McDonald County did a really good job of being ready for the play action.
Johnson can be a dynamic runner. We haven't seen it a whole lot here tonight. Haven't needed to.
33's out of the football game now. Number 34 into the game. Trips left formation.
That's Hunter Conway. Conway's going to get the play fake, but it's not. It's going to be batted up in the air and caught by Julian Hernandez.
We're going to say it's a catch. Oh, yeah, he caught it on his knee.
The ball bounced up. He got hit. And it was a great snag just to come down with it.
We're going to measure this time for Mount Vernon. 2:45 on the clock, so I'll let this run until we get there. 3rd and maybe an inch.
It seems enough for first down.
It seems to be a Hawaiian night. You should have worn your t-shirt.
I should have. Just to,
You would have fit right in.
just
Put salt in the
should
wound.
yeah, put a little salt in the wound of the Coach Lee's.
I hope he hears this.
I hope so too. If not, I'm gonna just clip that part and show it to him Monday.
Back under center, pound it.
And Dodson's gonna break through the line. No one in front of him. He scores again. 33-yard touchdown for number 33. And this second half has been all Mount Vernon. And he's up over 160 yards. There's another good, strong run there by Braden Dotson.
That seems to be the name of the game here, this drive. B&I formation. We're going to pound it. I mean, I think he got the ball pretty much every chance there, that drive. A couple play actions off of it. But 33 doing a great job. So, like we were talking about that up front, great job from Mount Vernon's O-line. I mean, when you're, how many yards you say you had?
He's up 160.
When you have 160, I know he's running that, but he's having some pretty good holes. He's not having to make people miss the backfield, Skyler. It's 5 yards deep before he has to worry. And as a back, that's all you need is, hey, get me to the line of scrimmage and I'll do the rest. And they're doing a great job of keeping people off of him in the backfield.
Yeah, we talked about the size of this offensive line. 4 returning starters. It looks like we're going to go for 2 here.
Whoa.
Gavin Johnson's going to look, and he's going to get Dan for 2-point conversion.
So once again, we're a spread set. We're going to motion 33 out because who's our best player? And all it takes is one linebacker peeking at 33 to the outside, and Mount Vernon slips a guy on the inside route. All they need is a little hesitation. Great play by Mount Vernon. Football is a game of inches and hesitation. You can't hesitate. So you see that motion, you got to keep to your keys. It's tough when that kid's that good.
minutes and 27 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. Cheerleaders getting their workout in with their jumping jacks after Mount Vernon score.
Special teams need to make a play here. What boost that would be just to gonna have a chance to get caught on the 5.
And Rubeck's going to look for a little bit of room, and
Out to the 25.
pretty good return there by Rubeck. But this is a big possession. If there's going to be any chance for a comeback here, you know, they're going to have to start by putting together a good drive here.
Mount Vernon's obviously made adjustments to the trip set from McDonald County. So, you know, you either got to have a wrinkle, you got to jet, you got to move guys, or you got to come out in something different. And they seem to come. They're going back to their 2-back slot set which they haven't been in since like the first quarter.
Yeah, I like to see a little bit of quarterback run out of this formation, just because you saw Short, you know, get so much work there early on. And and we talked about D'Amico being an athlete, not having, you know, not pulling it and not being aggressive running the ball. And we saw that out of the trips formation. However, I'd like to see that out of the two-back set as well.
Yeah, and eventually here we're gonna have to, you know, get some of these skill guys involved as well. We need to be aggressive. Great run.
Good, solid run. He's still going.
That's number 5, Short.
Short once again. Good, strong run. That's going to be a gain of probably about 8 yards. Be enough for a first down.
McDonald County kind of going with their muddle huddle. Receivers are over there getting signals from the coaches. And then the quarterback gives the play call to the lineman. The receivers, no reason to huddle. They're getting a signal. Mount Vernon being very aggressive up front, sending about 7.
And D'Amico is going to try to sneak through that stacked line, not going to get anywhere.
That's what I said earlier in the game. Mount Vernon's very aggressive first down, second down. So McDonald County catch them being aggressive. They sent 7 there. You've got enough receivers and running backs to run some sort of screen, catch them being super aggressive because they sent the house.
Yeah, you see them, like you said, being really aggressive on first and second down, and McDonald County has been more conservative on first and second
here we
down.
go with another aggressive. They're blitzed again. That one, great little RPO probably, but that's a great catch by number 1.
Yeah, Rubeck with the reception there, and I'm telling you, that ball was fired in there, and a good thing it was because it looked like Gann was about to jump the route.
Yeah, number 12 had a good beat on it. Half a fraction sooner, and he's housing that. 3rd and short here. We're gonna take the corner.
Yep,
You gotta snap it. Ready to go back to the play call. They got 5. Oh, got a jet motion.
Yeah, throw it, and he's got a man, and he misses it once again.
McDonald County just speaking. Receivers aren't catching the football.
And that's Rossler again with another drop after a 49-yard touchdown reception at the end of the first half. He has struggled here in the second.
It's hard. I played receiver myself, and it's difficult. Guys tell you catch it this way, catch it that way. Sometimes it's just you just got to catch it with your gut. They don't know you got to catch that football. You see number 6 wiping his hands, wiping his towel.
4th down play right here. You can go right back to him.
Great job.
Or this is going to be the Rubeck, and that's going to be enough for a first down and gain of 3.
That'll be the quarter. You see right there, 6 is upset, but coach has confidence in him, and they'll come back to him. And great job by number 1, not worrying about catching with my hands. Just catch it with your stomach. Somebody's going to tell you to do otherwise, but all that matters is that's a first down.
Yep, reception's a reception no matter how it looks. That's going to bring us to our third quarter break. We're going to step aside for just a second. It was all Mount Vernon there in the third quarter. 35-14 is your score as we go into the fourth quarter? We are back here in Mount Vernon. It is first and 10 for McDonald County going the other way. And the first play of the fourth quarter is going to be a run there by Short. Gain of about 3.
You know, you don't want to get into just a throwing match. You don't just want to throw it up, those types of things. But we gotta get pretty aggressive in play calling if we're McDonald County.
Yeah, down 21 points here with just 12 minutes remaining. You guys see a little bit of urgency.
Yeah, so that's go back to your film watching. Go back to what you've seen in the first half. Is there something that Mount Vernon does defensively that we like? We got to take a shot at some point. I like it.
D'Amico's gonna look to go deep, finds nobody, and going to be brought down by Bryce Rinker, the big senior defensive lineman, and he is fired up.
So that they play action and they release the tight ends for the first time, like I thought, they should have done earlier. And they were attacking those seams, but then they turned them into curls. And, me personally, in one-eye safety, let's just go ahead and keep vertical. Make number 12, Mount Vernon's free safety have on the side. Who am I guarding? They stopped, and he was able to play in between both of them, which allowed time for Mount Vernon to come home with the sack. A little bit of a confusion here. Quarterback 11 giving me the say it again, give me the next signal, and I don't think we got the signal on the sideline.
Timeout called there by Matt County. Let's just thank you guys once again for tuning in for Friday Night Football here live from Mount Vernon, Missouri, where the McDonald County Mustangs looking for a fourth quarter comeback before in this final 10 minutes. But I want to say thank you to our sponsors, the Burger Shack and the Clever Barn, for their support in Southwest Missouri football or Southwest Missouri sports football broadcasts throughout the season. We are here tonight. Next Thursday, we're going to be traveling to Diamond. I'll be by myself on the call once again, as Coach here is going to be trying to will the Miller Cardinals to a victory himself.
Well, actually, Coach, I'll be at a coaching clinic up in Columbia. I'm trying to learn something on the basketball side of things. So I'm going to take a 2-day clinic.
Oh, nice. He will not be there. I will be there on Thursday night, and then Friday we will be in Clever for the Forsyth and Clever matchup. D'Amico is going to look deep once again, and
so trips left, and we went 4 verticals like your Madden play there. We just kind of had a bad ball because Mount Vernon pressures getting home.
Yeah, it looked like he had 15 there. Underthrew him, threw it right at his feet. Corbin Sanderson was their intended receiver.
I do like the play call, though. One high safety, 4 verts, make safety decide where he's going. It's just a bad ball there.
And that's going to bring up a punt for McDonald County.
Mount Vernon with a soft rush. No reason to get a dumb penalty here.
And a good punt. They're going to get them inside the 15-yard line.
If I'm Mount Vernon, I'm probably going run, play action.
Yep. And and that's worked for him this entire half. So why go away from it? Yeah, so we'll be in Clever next Friday night. The Clever Blue Jays off to a 2-0 start, their first 2-0 start in their program's history. We're down to Reed Spring at half, so it looks like they're going to be 2-1 going into that one. As the Forsyth, I haven't seen a score for them yet, but they have a manageable game, so I assume it's going to be 2-1 versus 3-0. And that play nearly intercepted and went to the house, but got through to in my binoculars up here. The Hudson Gaddy.
Yeah, you had trips left, and they actually jet and then try to throw a screen. And McDonald County was, inches from housing. You got to be careful if you're Mount Vernon getting too fancy here. You're up 21 with 9:45. Let's pound the football and get out of this game. No reason to do anything crazy.
Dotson and Johnson in the backfield. Johnson going to go back. He's going to take a shot here to Julian Hernandez, and Hernandez with an amazing snag there. And he is letting the defender here on his head. What a play there. What a catch by Julian Hernandez.
He comes more than I do. The athletes he has, so take a shot. They're expecting us to run the football, so we're gonna throw it over the top. So Mount Vernon being very aggressive here, despite being up 21.
A 40-yard reception there from Hernandez, and Johnson's going to take off with his feet. A good, strong run is going to net him 5 yards. Man, Hernandez down with an ankle injury last week. Looks like his ankle's feeling fine here.
Going back to that last play, number 3 had a great catch. And he kind of let the defender know about it. And, some of it, I kind of like that. Let him draw it. Make sure it's no profanity, things like that. But, kudos to the Zebras for not just, getting irate just because a kid got a little bit excited.
Absolutely. And that's one thing, I know we talked a little bit about just allowing emotion in sports. As Johnson's going to take off down the sideline. He's up to the 15-yard line, down at the 10. A big run there by Hunter Conway. He goes from the 45 to the 11, get at 33.
Getting that bunch set. They got in bunch set earlier in the game, and they had success on the toss. Come back to it, and it was the same kid at running back. So the last time 33 left, and they ran bunch, 34 came in, and they ran the sweep, and they just did it again.
But yeah, going back to that last point, all too often you see, any type of emotion getting punished.
I kind of reset the time. We're going to replay the fourth quarter.
A short run there by Conway once again. It could be a gain of, I guess, as long as I thought it was. It'd be a gain of about 7.
And this isn't, man. So, Madden, I'm chewing clock and I'm getting out of the game. But, high school sports districts is based off of a point system in football. So, those are things that, Coach Cox and the Mountaineers are thinking about. If we win by a certain amount, we get more points.
Absolutely.
So that's also something to think about.
So as a coach, you basketball hasn't gone to that, but you coach football.
There
as well.
is rumors of that.
Really?
Yes, there has been rumors that basketball may go to a point system in districts.
So do you like that, or do you just like the classic seating?
I like the classic seating because coaches are very honest with each other, and they we know because we've played all each other. The coaches know who needs to be ranked where. Points don't always do it justice. And then we'll wait for this play.
This is going to be a sweep out to Conway, and he's going to find pay dirt after a big-time possession there. 3-yard touchdown by Hunter Conway. And this one is turning into a rout.
Going back to the point system, basketball goes to a point system. I think it's just going to promote teams running up a schooler late, and it's pretty like that. So, you get the turbo clock and all that, and it's just going to promote, hey, let's just keep going, keep going, keep going. When, in reality, when you're turboing, you probably should sub somewhere there before. I think it would promote to not sub. Me personally, for turboing, there needs to be a little situations.
Absolutely, and that was kind of my thought about it as well. But then again, there's a reason why I'm up here doing what I do, and not down there. But I feel like then you're promoting, possibly running up a score, and and then you never know what's going to happen there late. Especially. I know back from my time playing, I didn't like getting turbo clock. So, does that make me, or make somebody a little more apt to, go for a hard foul and then, really tailspin the rest of it. So, no, I'm kind of with you there. I enjoy it. And I think for the most part, the districts are seated appropriately. And now, if we want to get into a conversation how districts are arranged out, that's a whole nother conversation.
We got to kick off from Mount Vernon.
Big return here from I forgot.
I just call my name.
Good thing after calling Beck Brubeck's name so many times this game, I would eventually know what his first name was.
Now, if you're McDonald County, you got to have a sense of urgency. You've been in trips, you've been in two-back slot. You gotta do something different here if you want to get on the board. Back to their staple two-back set.
And and at this point, 42-14, it'd take a bit of an astonishing comeback to end up winning this one as they're gonna jump a false start. But this right now is you're starting to build for next week. You're gonna keep on running some of the stuff that you want to be good at. See what you can build on for next week.
Who I'd like to see get the football here is, early in the first half, number 26 for McDonald County had success running the football. He hasn't really got many touches here late in the second half, and he's back there now.
Yeah, the fullback Vince James that done. Thank you, Billy. Vince James had done a tremendous job there early on in the first half, and just hasn't gotten any touches here in the second half, I don't think.
Well, when the score starts affecting play calling, you kind of go away from players and you kind of go towards schemes, and you're trying to attack what Mount Vernon's giving you. So you kind of get away from certain players because they have certain plays that are tailored towards their skill set. Sometimes the ball just goes a different way based off the score.
D'Amico is going to look deep again, and he is on the run once again, just going to toss it out of bounds. Tries to get rid of it.
McDonald County does a lot of throwing right, even though their quarterback's left-handed. There's been multiple times in this game where number 11's had to roll this way and then turn his body over. Yeah, you'd like to see left-handers go the other way. Trips right.
3rd and 13 here for McDonald County.
Trips right. They're going to be manned on the backside again with, backside corner. They're going to take a shot again.
D'Amico's going to look deep, and he has a man, Rossler. He was the one that had the big reception there in the first half. And then a couple of just misses here in the second half. And that one, it looked like he had a shot to snag another big one, but it's going to fall incomplete.
It's easy, 42-14. It's easy for his punt team to kind of fall asleep here if you're McDonald County. Gotta snap, have a good snap, gotta have blocks.
And not quite the punt that we've seen from this punter, number 11, Anthony, or is that 11?
It's hard to see. We're kind of in the dark up here.
I think that was 11, D'Amico again. Punt.
So last time I was wrong. I said pound the football, get out of here, and we threw, I think, 4 passes.
Yep.
So I'm gonna not try to predict, but we do see. Nope, we're not subbing quite yet. Way too much time to sub.
6 minutes. Yeah, we haven't even got to our water break here in the fourth quarter.
I wonder if they'll take it. Sometimes they forget to take it late in the second half. Trips left. Empty. We're empty. Motion jet. We're going to be aggressive.
Johnston is looking. He's got Gann. Gann's going to go up across the 50-yard line. Be a gain of 6.
So again, Mount Vernon's coming out. They're going to throw the football on first down. They're staying aggressive. We did get our timeout.
So we're going to take our final 6-minute timeout of the game. We'll step aside. It has been all Mount Vernon here in the second half, 42-14. We are back here in Mount Vernon for the conclusion of this one, and Conway, Hunter Conway with the carry.
Seeing our first run in a little bit, other than that bunch. I'd like to see that bunch again. See if they try to get
Third down, Mount Vernon, for the Mountaineers from the McDonald County 44-yard line.
But you see, they are kind of coming to the sideline, getting calls more than just signaling in. That's all just to, take more time off the clock. Here is the bunch set. 34 is in. I want to call the sweep. Nope, I'm wrong. But it is a run.
Good strong run there by Hunter Conway. Gonna be enough for a first down. Gain of about 3. 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Before the sideline gets a call, take your time. You got 30 seconds.
This can go down as a really good win for Mount Vernon, as they head next week. They go to East Newton, who kind of gave Lamar a scare last week, and then that's going to set up a September 27th showdown against that same Lamar Tigers team. And Conway's going to spin, razzle dazzle, and then can be brought back. Any gain that he had was pushed right back. But
you need to get that phrase coined. You know that's your phrase now. So you said it like about 3 times.
Which one?
Razzle dazzle.
Razzle dazzle.
It's a good one.
It makes. I think I only say that because that was kind of the phrase in NBA Jam back on the Super Nintendo.
NBA, it came out when I say it came out on Xbox 360. I think. Stuffed like a Thanksgiving turkey.
Yeah.
He's heating up.
He's eating up.
We're in ace formation. A little RPO.
Oh, intercepted.
This one might go all the way.
And a big return, and it's going to.
Oh, we got a flag deep here behind the play.
Ryder Martin
That one might be coming back.
intercepts it, takes it the distance.
Referee gave the old wind up and threw for about 15 yards on that flag.
Best throw of the play was the referee throwing the flag.
He did wind up. This one might be coming back. It's after the interception. And it's definitely coming back.
I'm not.
It's either a helmet to helmet or it's our line side. Line side block, is what that is. So you're not allowed to hit guys anymore with the shoulder from the side. You gotta lead with the hands. So when that pick happened, guys just turn around and start taking heads off, and that's probably what happened.
The interception there by Gavin Johnston is going to give McDonald County the ball back here with about 3 minutes and 41 seconds.
We got some new guys into the game now. We started a sub from Mount Vernon, 13's in the game for the first time. It's easy to see these D-backs, so apologize.
That's sophomore Ja'Kai Kruger.
15 at corner. 40 and 11 are all new D-backs, and I assume the rest of the guys are subbing as well. Kind of hard for me to tell. I don't know them.
Yeah, it's Jay-Z.
So it looks like we do have a full swap on the defensive end. But seems to be no sub from McDonald County.
And there's your guy, Vincent James. A gain of about 3.
This is always tough as a coach. You know, you got one side of the ball, you got JV guys in. The other side, you still got starters in it. It's tough, you know, and either way you do it, somebody's, you know, angry sometimes. It's just, you know, it's the way it goes.
But but at the same time, the way that you're saying, I'm sure just as, scoring margin benefits
point system.
Point system. I'm sure it works the other way around. If you even if you're losing, if you lose by this much instead of this other score a late touchdown here, I'm sure that'll help.
No, absolutely. And you did have a touchdown that just got taken off the board, so you understand it. From McDonald County's view. But it's also great reps for these green guys and green Mountaineers. Like, you're getting varsity reps right now. We're going to take a shot.
Miko's going to find number 6, Dominic Navin. And Navin's going to try to take it up, and he's going to be brought down there at the 38. It'll be a gain of about 12.
Looks like McDonald County they're going to attempt to try to get one in the end zone before the end of this game.
2 minutes remaining here. 42 to 14 is your score, and D'Amico is going to find that was Navin again.
You can see some guys kind of huddling on the opposite end, so it looks like they might sub at some point.
Again at 3 there.
And you want to see this crowd go nuts. And, one of these JV kids get an interception, and late in the game, this crowd will go ballistic because they're going to put it through the air here again. Going to have a chance.
D'Amico,
play.
Good tackle there by number 11. That's going to be Garrison Nordyke, a sophomore defensive back.
By number 11, Garrison Nordyke.
Got a kind of a pause of play here. We're going to measure. We got a first down just from the eyeball.
Did you see who caught that?
I missed it. Another pass. Good blitz. Ooh, he almost had
you about had your interception that you're talking about there.
I'm telling you, this crowd will go ballistic.
Second down for the Mustangs.
We got a sub and the crowd goes nuts, so it must be a fan favorite.
Big ovation there for 85 Jet Zerby.
Fan favorite. This kid might get the interception we want. They do throw his way.
Right after him.
That's a tackle in my book.
That is complete to number 6, Vernon.
Why did I just buzz it?
Another reception for Navin.
Gain of 3 at the play.
Gain of 3.
Third down for the Mustangs. Third and 7 for
We're
the
in a
McDonald
hockey
County
show here from Mount Vernon, in and out, in and out. Third down and 7.
D'Amico drops back.
They're going.
He's
for
looking deep. And he's going for the end zone. And a pass. Nice PBU there. 35. Griffin Cordray.
It just shows you how well the Mountaineers are coached, Skyline. They've subbed, and this squad, I don't know if they're JV kids or not, but they're not the first string, and this whole entire squad has been in 10 plays, and they have not given up a touchdown.
Yeah, and that's a freshman making a big-time PBU right there.
We're going to have a chance to get them off the field.
D'Amico on 4th down, going to go to the end zone again, and this one is going to be caught by Rubeck.
For a touchdown.
6 points goes up. Just a few, 11 plays later than they initially thought. But Rubeck gets in the end zone. He has 84 yards through the air, or receiving.
And another thing, it is difficult in football to sub. I mean, you're talking 11 guys that got to be in the right position. So you've got to have all those things lined out before the game, who's subbing where, when you do these mass subs. So sometimes it is difficult to get kids ready to go and get them out there. So if you're going to sub here for a kickoff, kick return, sometimes it's a little easier said than done. I've definitely subbed and had 12 out before. I've had 11. I've had 10. I've had it gets difficult.
Final score: Eastern 42, Basketball 21.
As soon as I missed the
PAT no good. 42-20 is your score.
You're about to that. Why are you scoring? 48-20?
Yeah, 48-20 was the score that.
It was Hawaii feed night.
Hey, it was meant to be.
I think we spoken into existence.
Just so you know, Coach Weiss. Yeah, we got the Mountain West Championship coming up here in a couple of weeks. We're doing it again.
Yeah, he's gonna seek revenge. He may have had some coaching at school from a person. I'm pretty good. We got a little muddle kick. And
Zerby's
there's gonna
fumble it.
Gonna be a scramble for the ball. The Mountaineers come up with. So we should see maybe a knee and go home, or am I wrong? I was wrong earlier.
You would think, however.
I was wrong earlier.
Say, it's got to be victory formation here. Take a knee, get out of here. 21 seconds remaining.
Got a few guys on the line, I think, that have subbed in for victory. And indeed, that's what we're going to have is victory formation.
One snap and it'll all be over. And that is it. 42-20, your final score here from Mount Vernon. And what was, the score may not show it, but, this was a tremendous game, really from the get-go.
Yeah, first half it was tied and fireworks going off. Both teams did a really good job battling the first half. Seems like Mount Vernon made a lot of adjustments that McDonald County didn't have an answer for.
Fireworks just out of range for the camera. So.
That's probably your yard, man.
Pretty close. I know my wife always says it drives the dog crazy on Friday nights whenever after a Mountaineer victory.
Now, do we come ring this bell, or is that just touchdowns? Or what's the thing? Just touchdowns. Okay, so we don't ring it after a win.
I don't know. I think after a successful broadcast, I think we ought to go down there.
I think we might get tackled. Like number 33 might hit us if we get near that bell.
I don't want none of that smoke. So recapping scoring here real quick. It all started with a 49-yard touchdown from Gavin Johnson to Braden Dotson on a little swing pass early on. Made it 7-0. Then Gavin would come back with a 7-yard touchdown to Zerby on a well-designed RPO. I know Coach White over here was all about that play call. A beautiful play there. That was in the first quarter with a Mount Vernon 14-0 lead. On the in the second quarter, it started with a McDonald County 9-yard touchdown run by D'Amico after a drive where he really dominated on the ground. He scored with 1:55 remaining there, and it was a 14-7 lead. 49-yard touchdown pass as time was about to expire on the half from D'Amico to Rossler on just a beautiful fly route down on the far side, the right side. Made it 14-14 going into half. Then it was all Mount Vernon there in the second half as a 20-yard touchdown run by Dotson, 20-yard touchdown pass from Gavin to Gann, and a 33-yard touchdown run by Dotson gave Mount Vernon a 35-14 lead going into the final quarter. Then in the final quarter, it was a 3-yard touchdown run by Hunter Conway that gave Mount Vernon a 42-14 lead. And then just as time was getting ready to expire, 26-yard touchdown pass from D'Amico to Rubeck, and that gave you your 42-20 final score. Your stat leaders for the game, starting for McDonald County, was D'Amico with 188 yards through the ground, and he was also the leader on the ground with 68 yards, 42 yards from Vince James, and 40 yards from Adrian Short. Gave the Mustangs 150 total yards on the ground. Catching the ball was led by Rubeck with 84 yards, including that final touchdown. And number 8, Rossler, had the 49-yard touchdown that gave him 78 yards as well. Navin had 6 receptions for 33 yards, and Short had 2 receptions for 2 yards. That gave the McDonald County 347 yards total for the game. On the other end, Gavin Johnson led the way, 176 yards passing with 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. Dotson was unstoppable there once he got going on the ground, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns. Hunter Conway had 64 yards and a 3-yard touchdown, but he had that big play leading up to it, that 33-yard sweep out of the bunch that I know that you were calling for as well. And then Gavin Johnson, 25 yards, 249 total yards as the team on the ground. And then catching the ball, Hernandez led the way with 51 yards, including that 40-yard absolute dime. That diving catch here on this near sideline. Braden Dotson had 1 reception for 49 yards and a touchdown. Zerby 1 reception, 1 touchdown for 17 yards. Grayson Gann had 36 yards, 20-yard touchdown. Hunter Dawson had 10 yards. Hunter Gaddy had 8, and Coy Felton had 5, bringing the total to 390 total yards for the Mount Vernon Mountaineers. And like I said, you're going to see the scoreboard, and it ended up being 42-20, but that does not tell the story of this game.
No, it doesn't. It's just you catch a few blows in the second half when you're Mountaineers made some plays that the opposite team didn't, and sometimes it just football, man. All it takes is a little bit of a momentum, and everything starts to click, and guys start making plays that sometimes they don't normally make, and not that that's what happened here, but his confidence it does a lot for these young men. And Mountaineers definitely had the confidence in the second half.
The number 7 team in the state it is victorious, 42-20. Let's take a look at what we got coming up. McDonald County, well, it's no rest for the weary. Already played Lamar week 1, the number 1 team in Class 2. You got the number 7 team in Class 3. Next week, you just have the number 7 team in Class 4. Just keep on going up the ladder here. They host Nevada before getting a little bit of relief there at Monette before taking on Aurora. And then on October 11th, you had that showdown at Seneca. That road trip that all Big 8 teams fear. Looking at Mount Vernon, after this one, you moved to 2-1 for the season. You will travel to East Newton next week before taking on, going on the road once again to Lamar in what will be potentially, I guess, Lamar and Seneca is in the driver's seat for the conference title, but that should be another great one. Then you'll have Cassville, Parkview, travel to Nevada, and then finish up the season at Monette. So, just any final thoughts that you have here?
No, just the atmosphere of this place is awesome. It's much different than what I get to see every day because the size difference. But it's awesome to see the culture that Coach Cox has created here. I'm just watching these little guys down here on the field. They're practicing blocking each other. They're 10 years old. So it's just cool to see. Love the atmosphere. Love the noise and the fans and just the community support for their football program. And hats off to McDonald County. They are banged up. Arguably they say their best players out. So that does a lot. But their system works. Just a few plays here or there. But they played well and played well for a first half, without a major piece.
Yeah, well, that's going to wrap things up for us here in Mount Vernon. We're going to, here coming, we talked a little bit about our next couple of football broadcasts. Next Thursday, we're going to be in Diamond as the Miller Cardinals take on the Diamond Wildcats. And a game where I assume I haven't seen the final score of the Diamond and Skyline game. I assume that, or not Skyline.
Southwest, right?
I can't remember.
Maryville played Skyline.
Yeah, Maryville played Skyline.
Southwest.
I'm not 100% sure. Remember who they were playing, but I assume it's going to be two teams looking for their first win of the season on Thursday night. That's going to be another Thursday night kick for the Miller Cardinals. And then Friday we're going to be going to Clever for the Blue Jays. They host the Forsyth Panthers. However, there is one more game snuck in between there that we're going to be broadcasting, and no, it's not football. Coach White's going to join me once again as we're going to try something new. We're going to broadcast some volleyball, some high school volleyball.
Yeah, and I may know nothing about volleyball, but it'll be fun. And it was Southeast, and Diamond won that game very handily. It was like 32-0 at half. So,
oh wow!
They put it on.
Yeah, so it's gonna be another tough one for Miller next week. So yeah, so we'll and I can't remember off the top of my head what day that Miller Fairgrove volleyball game. Tuesday. So that's gonna be something to look forward to. Having two guys that know very little about volleyball trying to call it. So you know what? If nothing else, tune in for. I'm sure you can get a few laughs in.
Yeah, we'll have some good commentary. I'm sure.
Well, anyway, from Mount Vernon, I'm Skylan Akins, alongside Ryan White and our technical producer Billy Beaver here in the back. Just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Want to say one last thank you to our sponsors, Clever Barn and the Burger Shack.